I think we're live. It's tough to
Are we
say.
live?
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, we're live! Yay!
Well, welcome. It is everyone. It's not Wonderland. It's not. It's two different people and a dog. So it's me, Katie from the Lore Keepers Inn. With me is a very special guest, Torek. Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm fantastic. How are you? And your
I'm.
sweet little puppy is
I
so
know.
cute.
I put my mic on her, so she serves a purpose. She can't leave.
Yes.
And yeah, that's how it's going. But it's the finale. We did it. We made it to the end of round one. So not the finale of the whole
Yep.
season, but the finale of round one.
They've
So
been really great. I've watched every single one of them. I don't think we've ever had one where it was just like, oh my gosh, this is not entertaining at all. These games have been crazy to watch, crazy finales, comebacks from way behind. It's been amazing. So it's been a really great first season.
and I will say, so tonight there's a team that, if you looked at the roster at the beginning of the season and you look now, you might be like, who are these? Who is the Maelstrom? What is that? Is it the
What?
ride from Epcot? Now there is a ride
Oh,
from Epcot.
I
So
missed that
a moment
ride.
for
Oh,
that.
I missed
Now
that.
delete that from your mind because now Maelstrom is the storm that is coming and it is 8 incredible players. You know them, you love them, and we've got 3 of them here tonight.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited for the new name. It's got so much nostalgia for me as someone who's gone to Disney World since I was a kid. So I'm excited to see what they're bringing, what they've brewed. It's the last time probably that we're going to see set 6 in action. So everybody take it all in. I'm excited to see. Wondering what we're going to see played out.
So we
It'll be
are
fun.
here early, which means we have 15 minutes to walk you through the entire ride of Maelstrom. You didn't know that, but we couldn't tell us we were going on. So, in the meantime, we will say there's oil rigs, there's polar bears, there's trolls. It makes sense why it's not there anymore. You can't be mad. So I'm glad that they took Maelstrom and said, let's do it. Let's do that, but better.
Right.
And
You
then
can't be mad that Frozen took over. I mean, really,
no. And we got
it's
new bathrooms with
amazing.
it. They're really nice bathrooms.
The real priority here. We got amazing bathrooms.
It is. I think if you're a parks person, everybody has their favorite bathrooms. And yeah, Rapunzel's bathroom, amazing. Elsa's. So anyway, do you have any favorite bathrooms? There's cursed
I do.
bathrooms.
Okay, so I'm a Disneyland person. We
Okay,
are
okay.
like big Disneyland people. So if I had to pick a bathroom, my favorite bathroom is in California Adventure. And if you go kind of off of where you like see the Ferris wheel, and then you're going towards like Grand California, and there's like a little alleyway with a little hidden bathroom.
Oh,
10 out of 10 place. If you need a quiet place to go potty, that's where you want to
I
go.
know. And these are things people don't talk about, but it's important.
It really is though. You're
This
in
is
the
what
parks all day. You need
people
a
come.
break.
They come to the ICL for good matches, but they also say, if I'm going to Disney World, where should I go to the restroom? And
That's
we
it.
got
We've
you.
answered your question, you know?
But yeah, so other things is we also have the portal. Now they're a little mysterious. They do not have a Twitter account, so we could not hype them up there, but they do have a Facebook account we found, and they are from Connecticut. So they're up having whatever people do in Connecticut. I'm not lobster rolls. Is that something?
Oh
Is
no,
that name?
I've never been. I live in the
Connecticut
middle of
facts.
Nebraska, so we got
Oh,
nothing here.
I'm a Nebraskan
I don't know.
too. Well, I was a
Oh, shut
Nebraskan.
up.
Yeah, I quit. So
I don't blame you. It's like -12 here. I would quit if I could. Let me tell you.
yeah. But I like to harass Luke and his fellow Nebraskans, be like, "Oh yeah, you got the Runza, you got all the good stuff, the Taco John. There's a whole lot of Mexican going on at Taco John's.
Yeah, and then there's a whole lot of snow and corn and a whole lot of nothing else. So
There is.
that's
There is balanced
so we
pumpkin patch.
Lorcana. We
Yeah.
Lorcana. And for
We
some
learned.
reason there's just a lot of Lorcana crazy awesome out here. So
Yes. So my sister's from Nebraska and she's like, she's like, I don't not like going to tournaments, but it is kind of weird how many Golden Mickey winners are just floating around in the ether.
yes.
So, and I'm
Yes.
like, that is upsetting. You should get one per state, and after that, you're not allowed to have any more. So it's
Yeah,
like Miss
all the people that
America.
are it really is though. Like, and then can you imagine being someone brand new to Lorcana and coming to sit down and being like, "Hi, here's my golden Mickey with your princess deck." So
I did.
it
I
is
have just.
definitely intimidating.
They should have them in like little like FBI badges where they're like, Golden Mickey winner, and they slap it shut before the person can
Yes,
like read it fully.
little name tags. Yeah, it'd be
So,
great.
who are the members of Maelstrom is coming from Sorry, I was like Sarosdown. No, sure, Ashton. It's hard when reading. So
I
there,
get it.
you know them, you love them. It's the roster that we've seen before. So I'm gonna try to name them off the top of my head, and one's gonna get left out, and I'm sorry in advance. But we have Wonderland, obviously. We have Zenulus, R&B, Humble. Then we have Lucana Bro, and then we have where am I missing? Okay,
Sailor.
Sailor. Yes, obviously. Yes, top 8 places.
As a red blue player, I have to say Sailor. So.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 more, and I know. Okay, I'm thinking of every picture, every time I've ever seen them. I'm
What?
sweating.
Man, someone's gonna be. We're gonna offend someone. I gotta go look it up now. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because I think okay. So I got the Humble R&B, Wonderland, Zenulus, Lurkana Bro. Oh God. Okay, chat, help. It is probably because they're the best. No, I'm not. Yeah, Kendall. See, Kendall gets me because Kendall will wear 20 Low
Kendall.
Pro shirts, and I always kind of I get confused. I don't get confused. It's just my brain will put them under different head marks. And now we're missing just one, and that is the best member, everyone's favorite member, Zachary S. No, please. Bannable. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this means you guys got to start really you're going to have to dress up as the Maelstrom mascot because I need to make a stronger association. But yes,
maybe we should have as we have to atone for it.
Every night I do my flashcards of who is on Team Maelstrom. I don't stop. Yeah. So bannable. In the Bannable Kingdom, kids rule is what Lorcana Bro says.
That's awesome.
So
and what a cool name. How could we forget that? That is such a cool name. I'm so sorry.
I think the 2 people I forgot, they eclipsed me with stronger identities. Bannable, I see the elephant in my head when I think of him. And no, I'm not. I do associate him with 20 Pro because I casted for the I casted 6 of his 8 matches for one tournament. So that was really burned in there. I really got to do the master class on Kendall, and he is the master class on Ruby Amethyst.
Yes.
Awesome.
I don't know how much Ruby Amethyst got help this next set though. That's the one that I was like, man, we were looking at all the cards and going, I don't know if Ruby Amethyst got any help this set. If anything, their flame got worse. I felt so bad.
Yeah, they kind of said, hey guys, removal. No, we're kind of not doing that. So we got to kind of, what we got is what we got. They have like a inkable, less good Dragonfire. So that's fun. For only 7 ink, you too can banish a chosen character. But other than that, no, things are not looking so good for that deck. But that deck is like I've called it the Honda Civic, and I stand by that. It's stable. And it does what it says on the label. It's just driving steady. And I think it's always going to be a deck that you have to look out for, because any deck that has, and then turn 7, I restart the game, is something that you can't forget about.
I don't know. As a Ruby Sapphire player, I called it something other than the Honda Civic deck, let me tell you. It is a crazy, crazy deck to play against, let me tell you.
Yes. All right. So we do have, and I'm not talking to anyone in general, but when would that be? God. Okay. So yeah, we're vamping. So Torak is actually your first host. I'm not hosting until round 3. Zelda is not happy to be here because she's hungry. So I'm going to replace me with somebody else. And I was excited though. I got to having 2 girls on screen is like the highlight. 3, really. Sorry, Zelda.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's truly the most magical thing ever. But they're going to kick me out, and that's okay because I'll come back. But it was wonderful getting to talk to you. I think I'm getting ushered out. It's because of the bathrooms. It was because we talked about bathrooms too much. And because I forgot to, they didn't say that, but I'm going to write apology letters. That's what I'll be doing between my rounds. And next, we have White Breezy. You know him, you love him. He's the emperor of late night, and he's here to bring the vibes.
I love it. It was good to talk to you. I'm happy that you got to talk about bathrooms. I think that was the highlight of this whole thing, was giving bathroom advice as to where you need to go.
It's true. People don't think about it until you're in that position and you're like, what was the answer? And the answer is I might have said goodbye too soon. So I'm just gonna hang out here. It's not scary. Breezy, how's the pro? There's no Breezy. I'm sorry, chat. you're stuck with us, unfortunately. This dog is
For
looking very
now.
regal.
Oh,
She yes, this is
she's
Zelda.
so cute. I'm
Yeah.
saying it's very fitting because we got that new Bolt Legendary reveal, the Enchanted. So,
Oh,
the dog
okay.
found
I
me.
already said goodbye. So the good news is this is bye for real. So goodbye for real.
Bye. Hello. All at once. Breezy is there. There he is. I thought you were frozen for a second. I was like, uh-oh. Oh, now we can't hear. And now I'm all by myself. Oh, you have given me way too much power being on the screen by myself with a microphone. That's all I have to say. If you thought the bathroom conversation was dangerous, uh-oh. So look, looks like we have everybody doing their mulligans. We have Zenulus versus Alex. So Zenulus from Maelstrom and Alex from Portal. They're going to be doing their mulligans, and I might just be doing this all by myself. But we will see. So, anyways, back on the topic of red purple not getting absolutely anything. Can we talk about the fact that blue steel got absolutely everything? That is the real atrocity from this set. Everybody got nothing except for blue steel, which went from already really good to, what is it? Going to be tier 0 this set. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, so what do we think they're going to be playing? Let's take some guesses. Let's see who said atrocity? Listen, we've been on an island for a while. No, it really is, though. The atrocity that Blue Steel got all of this ridiculousness. That bell is just unfair. Y'all already have Fortisphere and Popsicle. You did not need the bell. You did not need a turn 1 singer. Absolutely not. Absolutely. All right. Well, we are trying to figure out what's going on, but until then, I'm excited. It'll be fantastic. I think Breezy's going to join me in a second.
All right.
Blue Steel never gets good things. Blue Steel gets everything. Stop. Y'all got
Blue
Ariel.
Steel got
you got
everything.
Dime. You got oh, there you are. Yeah,
They got it all.
Thank you.
They got it. No. We had some technical issues, but you gotta have it in the early stages. So we were just run straight off. It's all good. And I heard some Blue Steel people saying they didn't get enough, and I have problems with that. They got everything. What else do they need?
You guys have everything, and now it's just going to be like literally everybody going up against Blue Steel this set and being like, "Well, you look at your bell turn 1 and go." Game over. Sorry.
Yeah. It's going to be a very exciting set 7. But before we get into that, we got a phenomenal set 6 matchup right here in front of us, and I can't wait. But yeah, like it's just like what Amber card did we get? You know, those are the questions that I get to ask those people that are upset about Bell. So.
Peppa's not bad. I think Peppa sees some play, but I mean, realistically, Amber Steel didn't get nothing. If anything, y'all got Gantu'd real bad. That Gantu looks so gross.
All right, so we got Ice Block.
So it looks like, Ice Block. Oh, please tell me we got a Ruby Sapphire on one side, my love. Ooh. Alex, let's see it.
I mean, when you see Ice Block, is there anything else that we expect?
Other than item shenanigan that you could, you could Emerald Steel or Emerald Sapphire. I got Ice Blocks with the Muses. That's 100% a
some
thing
extra
now.
Spice. I like that.
Thank
I like
you,
that.
Smessy, for that craziness that came out of nowhere. So far we've seen I'm Still Here, go into the Inkwell, and then a Smee. Yep, there we got a Visions. Okay, so we have a pretty good indicator that we're going to see
sailing into turn 2. That's exactly what we want to see as a Sapphire player. That turn 2 ramp, the glorious, the beautiful ramp that we want to always see.
Absolutely.
Okay, got rid of a Hiram here. Ooh, that usually tells us we either have another one.
We have another one, or we have
no inks.
Absolutely all inks.
Or we just absolutely bricked so hard that we have to get rid of our best card.
Otherwise, we're staring at 3 big Sisus going, well, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, we're just staring at our big bodies that we want to play later and hope we don't die by the time we get there.
Exactly. All right, so we see an Ursula Deceiver go in the Inkwell. As a Ruby Sapphire player, you are very happy to see her in there on turn 2 as opposed to on the board. Or this turn 3.
Absolutely. Getting your how far I'll go taken away from you really hurts.
I mean, realistically, now that Maui Shark's a thing, we're not too unhappy, but the how far I'll go on 4 is still what we want to be doing.
Exactly, yeah. We got a Diablo on board, a Smee. Ooh. We're inking the crab here. Oh.
Yep. Get rid of it.
Get rid of that bird. We don't want to see that bird.
Bye-bye, anyway. Birdie. I don't want to see that bird.
It feels so good to brawl that thing. Oh my goodness. Yes. So tired of that bird. Ban the bird. Still, we're still on that train. I don't care. I've not let that go the hashtag since the day it came out. So we're just gonna keep rolling.
Yeah, I mean, the bird, we don't need to ban the bird. We just need to stop the bird being able to shift and go into the cove on turn 2. Who thought that was a good idea? That's what's insane right now.
It's the same person that wrote the Maui Shark. It's the same. It's just it's slippy. No. Yeah, it's the same person that wrote the new Tamatoa. It's the same. It's like the one person that just breaking the second line of text that just. Whew.
Yep, 100%.
Get into
all right, we're still trying to figure out.
Miss John.
All right.
Merfolk. All right. Quest the Sisu here. Get the damage. With Green Steel, we need multiple pieces to get the engine really rolling, and brawling that Diablo really kind of cuts that in half early on. So it's just really nice to see in Blue Sapphire too. Ruby Sapphire to get rid of that. So making that engine's kind of slow down before it gets too crazy is what we want to do, so we can establish the port late. Oh, we got the Maui. Oof. Get rid of this. All right.
Nice block. I mean, establishing the Maui is great just because we then are preventing the shift or the quest with the Prince John.
Right.
There's no desire to turn that sideways.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, I mean, I don't know if we can have access to these lists, but you never know if they're playing go-go
spices
in their Green Steel. Yeah. So that's the other thing is Maui for me is just always a risk in these because you never know if a go-go is going to come down and punish you big.
Oh, definitely. Especially with cards like Calhoun on play, you get that extra 3 damage potentially. Like even if you heal it with Popsicle, right? You can't. It doesn't do anything if there's a Calhoun on board. It's plus 3 lore, and that sucks.
Mm-hmm. And a Calhoun trading with Maui is still just absolutely gross.
Right. Plus, everything just feels bad about it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're gonna play the Half Shark. Yes, we love this.
I know we're singing the beautiful tune here. To get into extra ink here and a card in our hand. These decisions are so you have to make so many of these decisions that have to be perfect in order to truly pilot these decks, and it really admires me to see some insane Ruby Sapphire players come out and just do their thing. Yeah, so many decisions, right? I don't play because my brain power is not anywhere near the Ruby Sapphire player. So every time I see this, you have to make so many right decisions to make this work, and hope that it was the correct one.
100% is. I think I would argue that probably the Sapphire decks have the most decision-making power going into them because you're constantly ramping and digging through your deck. And so it's a lot of okay, what do I do with this? Am I going to keep this for later? It's a lot. But that was 100% the right card you wanted to see. You wanted to be singing with the Maui. I think that's great. You don't discard. You don't fill their hand. Absolutely great.
Dealing 2 to the Shark here. And getting rid of Shark is really difficult when you don't have a lot of heavy removal tools or heavy anything because it's evasive. And we other than Diablo, we're not in Emerald Steel. We're not really running a lot of cards to deal with other than Zeus and Strength at times. So it's just Gets problematic. Gonna quest the merfolk here. Trying to slide into 20 as fast as possible.
You do offer up the trade to the shark, and then the shark won't take any damage. And they have quite a few. We got Brawl, Sail, and How Far I'll Go in the discard. So we have lots of options of things to get back.
Definitely. And the merfolk offering is just like Zenulus offering, like, okay, get rid of it, get your Brawl, but I need to draw that extra card and the lore as well. So he's trying to bait it out a little bit to hopefully get something what he's looking for, most likely.
Unless Alex can pitch his hand, but I mean, that's not a position that you want to be in as the Ruby Sapphire player. You don't want to pitch your hand. So
right, like
big Sisu here would be super nice. So big Sisu would be so good. But he's taken way too long, so I don't think that's what's going to happen. But that would be
I don't think so.
So good.
Sisu would feel incredible in this situation, right? Like, you clear the board, establish so much. Oh, okay. Finally find your...
All right, okay.
Hire him.
Okay.
Now I'll get some card choices here.
And this isn't bad, because if you're looking for a Brawl or you're looking for the baby Sisu, there it is. Yep. So then you don't have to offer up the card draw. You get to quest with your shark. You get a full hand still. This is great. Absolutely love that.
Definitely. With the baby Sisu, do you think we're gonna see a lot more in our next couple of like in the next set going in?
So I've been testing a lot of set 7 cards for the past week. Baby Sisu feels so good with the coil on board. I mean, How Far I'll Go and ink and get rid of a big Tamatoa with the baby Sisu is delicious.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
We're cooking with the baby Sapphire. All right, because like it got taken out with a few times. It got tested out. It came back. So I felt like reading Sapphire quote, like it's gonna come back eventually, and like I'm assuming we're gonna see it a lot more moving forward.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Baby Sisu and Medusa come back into the meta. I think those will definitely see some play. That's not bad. All right, get rid of the shark.
Get rid of the shark. Yep. I mean, this is essentially screaming, if you have the big Sisu, you got it deal. Like, it's just, you got it. And if you don't, you don't.
You didn't ink last turn. So, I mean...
We're going to draw a card. We're looking for it, what it seems like.
We're looking. Yeah, we'll take it.
Quest to find more.
Get to go 3 cards in, see if we can find it. Baby Sisu on board, so if we shift.
We're taking for the shift.
Yes, do it. Do it.
Do we have it? We do have it. Goodbye, Prince John. Goodbye, Merfolk. Goodbye, your entire hand. Oh,
that's so brutal.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Board
I'm saying yay as a Ruby Sapphire player, but I know that is like
the pain.
A gut punch. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've sat across from that so many times, and I know exactly what that feels like. Because now you have so many cards in hand. Another Sisu.
With the dime. Oh man.
Oh, this is gonna get really, really sticky for Zenulus here.
Yep. Man, yep. We have the spear out to drop. Oh, we're not. Oh,
and we found a crab.
Wow.
No. Ink the Brawl. Why not? Play another popsicle.
Of course.
Oh, this is gonna get out of hand real quick because we're gonna have the dime on play situation. We got a lot. We got a lot that we have to deal with, and it might.
So we're going up to 10 this turn. We're playing the dime. Getting back a popsicle. We're looking at GG's. And
this is the GG territory. Yeah. That Sisu shift really just kind of took away the game right away. Finding it is so incredible. And that's what Ruby Sapphire does, right? Like being able to dig deep before you make your big splashy move to take over the game. And it just did it so beautifully right there.
Yep.
We found a Deceiver fall, but like I think it's too late.
At this point, because you play dime, get back popsicle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, no, this is game over. Yeah.
Dime.
We have lethal on board.
Yeah, this is the
100%.
wrap up.
Yep.
And then
That'll be it.
Get the 17 quest with the Sisu and see you later. Game 1.
Yikes.
The portal takes game 1. Whew.
It was looking a little rough in the beginning. I was nervous when they were inking their Hiram. I was like, oh no, we have a hand of uninkables. What is going to happen?
We truly
That's
did.
what it does.
But you find it, right? That's what you like. That's what you want to be able to do in this deck, and they deliver. And they truly deliver in the Ruby Sapphire world over there.
Yep.
Oof, that's
Yikes.
getting rid of that brawl with the Diablo too. Like you found your answers to exactly what you were looking for early on.
Yep.
Looking in
100%.
this matchup. Looking in this
So for
matchup.
Xenulus,
Oof.
coming out in the next one, you need to get out quicker, right? So in this next one, if I were him, I'd be looking for a couple Murph Oaks, a couple Smees. We need to get out as fast as humanly possible and gain that lore before they have a chance to commit anything to the board.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Rough.
Oof.
Yeah.
And hope you don't get brawled out of the game too. Like, because if you don't see it, then your Diablo draws you a little bit more cards, and you're not stuck with one card in your hand while you basically get control out of the game.
Yep. You're wasting their resources that they have saved for Diablo, and then you can finally get your draw engine moving. Right. So,
and then on the other side, though, what are we hoping for Ruby Sapphire? What are we trying to get as on the draw, trying to stop that bleeding early on?
So, I mean, if you're going up against, I haven't completely seen Xenulus's list. I mean, if you're going up against someone that runs Cove, you want the Brawl Ice Block combination on the draw to kind of stop the bleed from the Diablo. Yeah. But really, you're kind of looking for as much ramp into Maui Shark as fast as possible. Because if they're going to go quick, you need a Maui Shark and get something on board to start taking out threats and then getting back your brawls. So
gotcha. Yeah,
I would be looking for Tipo, Sail, Maui Shark, Inkables. That's kind of what I would look for.
Get the Maui Shark, brawl your game into winning. Got you. Okay, yeah, definitely. Because because what you want as Green Steel is you want to get early lore and win the game early before that happens. But if you have that ramp that you usually find, you kind of are out of luck you can't really do anything, because when the Ruby Sapphire gets to do whatever they want, they really take over really fast.
100%. I mean, but if you're M Steel and you're on the play, you're really looking for double Merfolk, and then a Pete.
Everything.
I mean, a Pete shuts it out. You know what I mean? Like because they're going to take the first 3 turns off to ramp. So if you can get your stuff set up and then slam a Pete down and go do something, like it's really going to mess their game plan up. So I mean, if I was Xenulus here, I would definitely be looking for. What is it? What do they call it? The Shin Miri line? What is it? 3 1-drops? A Pete? That would be delicious.
Definitely. I mean, it's just one of those things where if you do find the answer, you find it, and usually with the Arctic cards, you do find it, and that's what you got to hope for.
No 1-drop.
Oh, no 1-drop. No. That is the worst.
Oh, that's painful. Oh, that makes my heart hurt. All right, Flaversham into the ink. Popsicle. Oh.
Again, do we not have any Inkables, or do we have another higher? That's the age-old question when you see that.
I mean, and really, you don't really want to be Flavershamming on 4 here, especially if then Xenulus is going to establish a Diablo. You really want to kind of save that for after you've gotten rid of the Diablo. All right, let's see.
Oh, no, we have all of them. We have all of them.
Oh, my gosh.
No, it wasn't because we just have.
We got all of them.
Every single one is in our hand. I
can't tell you how many games that I have played where I haven't seen one mouse. How do you get all 4 of them in your opening hand? Oh my gosh.
That's rough. That's hilarious.
Oh, that's ridiculous. My goodness. Well,
visioning away.
We're going to be very careful. Ink another Flaversham. Oh no. This is going to be a real bad late game though. If you're Xenulus though, and you're looking at that, you're going, okay, I need to count how many he's put in his inkwell and hold on and get rid of the ones that I can for later.
Now, there's 2 left. So we if you can get rid of 1 or 2, 1 more, we're looking really, really good.
Yeah. Because if Ruby Sapphire runs out of draw,
it's rough waters.
You were in a really good spot. You were, especially if you can establish lots to the board. So, all
And
right, we vision.
And we've the ramp.
You missed our... But that's okay. I mean, it's kind of even now. If you're Zenulus, you're looking at this and go, okay, I might have missed my one drop, but they missed their turn too. So it's not too bad. We're kind of in even here.
They're not getting the Hiram here, which feels a little bit better. They're not getting to 4 ink here. It's still not the most optimal, but we got to make sure.
Okay.
We establish our onto sudden chill. That's beautiful.
That's good. That's awesome.
Discard one,
especially
draw one.
Since we know all the Flavershams are in hand. So if we can start emptying this hand before we can get to like, that's gonna be. All right, what are we getting rid of here? We're thinking about it.
We got rid of our 3rd Hiram.
Oh no!
Wow, we're solo Hiraming into potentially no cards in our hand. I mean, we can still dig deeper with our vision to the future and stuff, but like it's gonna get a little sticky. All right,
I am 100% on the field of like I would have kept both of those Flavershams in my hand because I know if you're Zenulus, you're looking at that going, I got a smell defeat.
Yeah.
I can come get your other Flavershams. Like,
we're inking the Tala here.
We're inking the Tala. Wow. Okay.
All right. And then we can maybe, because like you don't want to empty out your pockets too fast because now you have a scary situation with Prince John. 100%. And like it's gonna get really scary if you ink your hand too much, invest into your resources, you might have no cards in your hand really, really quick, especially when Sudden Chill is a singable song and you have other options of discard as well.
100%.
Now we inked a Maui Shark too. Ooh. How do you feel about that one? Yeah, right? Like it's just because we just talked about it. You want to keep that card in your and play it as soon as possible, and inking it just rough waters.
It really does. I mean, again, okay,
hypnotize. We're drawing and we're digging deep to find our like the Sudden Chill too. Like if we find a Sudden Chill here with the 2 draw, we really empty out the pockets here. They're doing everything they can to make sure that Hiram stays in their hand, but it's getting less and less. Ooh, we found it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Flaversham's the 1 card you're keeping. Yep. So we got the brawl that we take out. Oh my gosh.
Every time we have gotten our pockets ran right now. Inking the Muses here.
I'm calling him Merfolk.
I think so. Maybe a Diablo? Yeah.
Oh, Diablo. Okay, let's see what we kept. So Flaversham and another shark. Okay, so we inked duplicity. That's fair. That's fair.
That's not as bad. But like we might still get our hand entirely discard because right now Zenulus drew 3 cards this turn, and like that's where we want to like that's where Emerald Steel wants to live. He wants to have a bunch of cards in hand and just keep making your opponent discard. Even though we were drawing 2 here, we can get rid of those cards in their hands really, really fast.
Yeah. So we need to establish another item here before we go into the next turn. So Alex really needs to ink this vision and play a popsicle, because then we can have a draw engine established going into the next turn. 5 ink and having no cards in hand is
we do
not the place you want to be. Okay, good. Yep.
The Tau Sphere is really, really good here.
Yep, that's great. So we've established the draw. We've got 2 cards in hand. He's like, okay, take a Maui Shark and an Unknown, I think.
Yeah. And then now Zenulus wants to basically empty out those hands. And he could shift the Diablo, sing a song, do a lot of there's a lot of things he could do here with the board state that he's on now. We got to peep before we decide. Okay. Ooh.
No.
Ooh, ouchie.
Rough.
Now we're drawing an extra card. Oh.
We got 1 card in hand. Find the Sudden Chill. Oof.
Find the Sudden Chill. Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, very, very good. But this is what M Steel does best, you know?
Right.
They rip your cards away and say, do something.
He might have whiffed the 1 drop, but he found all the discard tools he was looking for.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, geez.
Yep. Bye-bye, Shark. Yep. So that's exactly why Alex needed to have that draw engine on board, because
Right.
5 ink and all your threats that you want to get to are at minimum a 6 shift, and you don't even have the shift established. So
and we have established the deceiver wall.
Yeah.
This is gonna get a little difficult for Ruby Sapphire to handle.
100%, because Flaversham as this turn left. What that signals to me is we got Storm Rage on in hand, or what is it? Strength in hand.
Strength in hand.
He's not living to see another day.
We're drawing 2 at least. We're trying to find something. We might be able to dig a little bit deeper through our with cards like Vision right here. Hopefully, we find some sort of answer to clear the board, which, in the sense of our wonderfully sanctified Lorcan Evelyn, be prepared here.
I don't think you're looking for be prepared here. I think you're looking for more ramp. I think at this point you have no hand. You can look for an item. But I think you're looking for, and how far I'll go, a sail, something to give you. Ice block's not bad. Okay.
And then we're gonna baby Sisu here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yep. That's great.
All right.
100%.
We're controlling. Finding the items every time has been really, really important here. Just not missing the potential of like getting more card draw out of the Flaversham has been really, really crucial. He was able to find the Vitalosphere, and now he has the Eye Cube that if you don't kill the Flaversham, you can draw 2 more.
Yep, 100%. Because that was 100%. That was Zenulus was letting Alex know, dude, you Flaversham is not staying around much longer.
yeah, that Ursula screams that, right? Like it's just like you got nothing.
100%.
100%.
I can't tell you how many times I've lost a stinking Tamatoa to a Ursula Deceiver doubles. Oh gosh. I had no cards in hand though. That's good.
Empty Hypnotize. I mean, still gotta draw, find something. We're on 2 ink left.
So, if Alex rips a big Sisu off the top.
Oh, then it's kind of see you later. This.
Yep. Game over. So maybe we're looking for removal for the Sisu. Storm.
Anything to get rid of it, essentially.
Oh, and we're committing
no cards in hand.
Board? Trying to get rid of the Flaversham? Oh, okay.
Okay, I mean.
And then ping. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Essentially says,
I like this.
You got it. You don't.
Right.
See you later.
Right. This. I mean, this does really put him in checkmate because Zenulus knows Alex has absolutely no Flavershams left.
Yeah.
You've inked and discarded all of them.
There's nothing left for you to draw more cards. Ooh, that is not what you want to draw into.
That's rough. And you can't even quest with the baby Sisu because Diablo Shift is a thing.
Right. Oof.
Yikes. Yeah, Big Sisu would have been so great off the top there, but
Big Sisu, we scream our lungs off if that happens.
Right, exactly.
Like if that happens, we are screaming into the void. Yeah, it's we're just gonna.
Oh, really?
I mean, do 1 damage. Right. I mean, yeah, if they shift,
makes the trade bad.
Yeah, makes it feel terrible, and it's still rough. Because you can just take care of it if you don't see your big Sisu. But for Alex here, you're basically praying to every single god out there to find a big 8-drop Sisu to win you the game and take this game right back. That's all you can do in this situation. Or like hope you find like you're out of your Hiram, so there's nothing to just dig deeper to find that big Sisu. But yeah, you get to 11. Yeah. We got a bunch of cards in hand. The Emerald Steel has done the Emerald Steel thing quite well here. We're sailing into a draw. Did we find it?
Nope, no, just pinging the Diablo.
No, we did not find it. Maybe a Maui here from the 5 that we're separating.
No, I think he passes. I think you drew an uninkable.
Ouch.
Yeah, yikes. That's the thing. That's what you risk when you sail. You know,
right.
Could I find the Tala? Could I find the Halvardo?
Sudden.
Oh no!
Wait. Oh wow, that is.
Rough
Oh,
life. Rough life.
we
That is rough, man.
We sailed into the answer and failed.
That's and then you get rid of the clean up the baby Sisu. Yep.
So you can't
See,
shift
and in
anymore.
those positions,
Oh, that
hindsight's
feels
always
so
2020.
bad.
That's
Nope. Yeah, we can't find it. Oh, that feels so bad. Because
that makes my heart hurt.
But
I mean, either way,
that Sisu wasn't going to make it. Yeah,
that Sisu wasn't going to make it. It was game over. So
right.
Game 2 to Zenulus. That was an amazing, amazing game. Good lord.
Right. Wow. That's so the order in which those cards were stacked is the worst outcome possible. If those two were switched, this game goes to a completely different situation. Wow. Yep. Wow. That's so, and now we go to game 3. That now will we find our 1-drops? Will we find the ramp we're looking for, or will we get our hands ripped off and Prince John get the plus on plus? That's the big question.
Chat says that's a satisfying sudden chill. Yeah, I bet.
There's a lot of Ruby Sapphire hate out there.
Yep.
They did a little happy dance.
Sad. They did a little happy dance.
I wouldn't say sad. I feel like, the Ruby Sapphire community has been eating quite well over the last couple of months. So anytime we see it slip away for unfortunate situations, it doesn't feel that bad. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. But okay, so I am a Ruby Sapphire player, like an OG Ruby Sapphire player. Like I was playing it right when Flaversham was out, set 2.
Right.
So we weren't eating well for a really long time, and we finally got good. So.
Now it's on to the next level, though. So
exactly.
Oof. And I do really appreciate that it kind of switched into a few different variations of the Ruby Sapphire lifestyle with what DKP has been able to accomplish with his crazy brew. But like it's really fascinating to see what the deck can do with like its core package, and then everything else can be kind of sauced up, really.
Yeah, super flexible. I mean, yeah. I know Vonder, I know Luke really hates Flaversham, but with that being such a powerful draw engine, it makes the ink combination really flexible, where you can go item heavy, you could go more control, you could do more of the Maui Shark location like DKP. Like it's got a lot of flexibility to it, which makes it so powerful and so hard to play against, because you don't know what you're playing against until like turn 3. What kind of brew you got going on.
Yeah, because turn 1 through 3 is the same, right? You just item, ramp, smile.
Item, ramp, Tala is usually what we want to be doing, is item, ramp, Tala, and go, what am I playing?
It could be anything. Sing out file. Yeah. It's just such a fascinating combination, and it's just gonna keep getting better. But it's good. It's good. We need it.
We need it.
We need it. Some people say ban every card, but I disagree. It's needed.
I was in the camp that was like, let Bucky live. Like, Bucky's fine. I was not having a problem dealing with Bucky when I was playing. Bring back the squirrel.
I got big Sisu. I'm not complaining. It's fine.
Exactly. That part. 100% that part. All right.
I don't care.
Ink a Tipo.
Ink the Tipo. Do we... No items.
Missed our 1-drop.
But we have a Diablo. Big.
Gosh.
Ooh, 3 uninkables into... Ooh, okay.
That's rough. Yeah, that is rough life right there.
Tough.
I don't know. Okay, so I don't know there if I would have inked the Tipo then. With all those uninkables in hand, I think I might have. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, and I don't know. But I probably would have inked the sail there and kept the Tipo.
We drew a pirate. Granted, though, like, Big Sisu wins you the game, though. Like, in this matchup, with how many tiny little critters that Emerald Steel runs, it's gonna feel really good to be able to make it that far and play the Big Sisu. But you have 2, so you are right. Like, you do have 2, so you don't need both. So you could ink 1. So like, it's tough.
It is. It's 100%. Hindsight's always. I always say this with Red Blue. There's so many decisions, and when you make even those in the beginning, like Tipo versus Sail, like what feels good,
right? It's like, which one's better? And it truly depends on what you draw out of the Sail at most of the time, too. It's like, okay, this
100%.
card, I wish I played Tipo. It's just, What are you willing to gamble more in Ruby Sapphire? That's the big question. Which is why I respect the players a lot. It's like you make so many brain power decisions that like I would be so upset every time. Ooh, with the Ursula, we are taking and
Yep. And again,
wow.
we're
four
the Tifo
uninkables.
might have been. Yeah. See, and then that's hard. That is rough. I mean,
right.
If you can ramp to that, be prepared. That's not bad. Getting rid of that, how far I'll go. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's getting brawled next turn, but then that means you pick brawl over ink.
Right, and that's
unless you draw.
That's really bad.
Yeah, that's rough.
Did we find an inkable? I don't think we did.
Oh,
we didn't find any inkables. Wow. So Diablo basically gave you a free draw in a lore, which isn't terrible, especially because you didn't pay for anything.
Big
I'm playing
big miss to not find an inkable there. Yeah, again, and that's why it's always so rough when you open a hand and your opening hand has so many uninkables in it.
Ooh, and a sudden chill. The Emerald Steel is starting to cook exactly where it wants to cook here. We're discarding a B prep, so we have 2 big Sisu still, hoping that we don't die by then. And it's just gonna get rough. Now we found an inkable.
Ink and pass.
Ink and pass feels so bad.
It really does. It really does. I mean, and especially when you know that you've got what,
we found another one, a big Sisu. This is getting tough real fast. And also for the Lorcana fans over the year, this is like 2 of the most like disliked decks at the same time against each other. So you have to pick your poison here, which you're rooting for. So for the ones that are watching, which one are you rooting for is the big question, because you played against both and you cried at one point against one. So as both decks gets to do their thing, it's really painful to see as Emerald Steel just starts to just take over the hand, take over the board, and make sure that he doesn't get to ramp brawl away the Diablo. Still doesn't just.
But no ink.
No ink.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Oh, okay. We did find a flat. Okay. But 1 card in hand, and it's the big Sisu.
And it's the big Sisu, and that might get ripped away too if you find any type of hypnotize, any type of just like that. I mean, now we're Sisu. 2 big Sisus gone, and I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the number, but I would assume you don't run more than 2 at most times.
Big Sisu, I think most decks are running 4. I think we're on 4 big Sisus.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So we are definitely 4 big Sisu. I think at this point, what you're hoping for off the top at this point is how far I'll go, ramp, put a card in the disc, ramp. Because if you're at what, 5, how far I'll go, I would ink whatever I get, go up to 7,
something,
and hope for the other be prepared. Hope for baby Sisu. I mean, there's still outs for Ruby Sapphire. That's what's so crazy here is that there's still outs.
It's not over.
No, 100% not. The problem is that Zenulus keeps taking all the cards out of Alex's hand, so there's no way to come back, which is so rough.
Alex is finding answers, but it's getting taken away right away, and he gets to draw a card too.
Yep. All right, so it looks like Alex is asking to see the discard. Probably trying to count how many sudden chills and hypnotizes are gone.
It's like, you got 1 more. Please tell me you don't. Oh god.
How many have I seen?
But we didn't. We grabbed it for our future. But if you get discarded our pockets away here, we are in a rough situation. Ooh, and a Pete.
Oh, that's rough.
And a Merfolk here.
Wow. Is that Merfolk? Okay.
Yeah. I see that too, Lore. with the
Pete, okay.
With the Pete, now we're saying you can't ramp, you can't do anything, but you got a shark. I mean,
that's not bad. That's not bad here, right? We have a be prepared in the ditch. Turn something sideways. I'm gonna be prep your board. I mean, this is a good establish. That's not bad.
There is strength of raging fire though. Just like that. That. I'm in 2 for 2 for the calls, and it feels, and we found a hidden code to be even more gross. Next turn,
man.
making everything turn sideways now feels so much better. Like, yeah, you find a Maui, good luck. Be prepared doesn't do anything because you're 6. It just everything feels bad in this top deck situation.
That's good game. Good game.
We found a popsicle, maybe a Maui to make us feel better, at least feel something.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, a CC to Merfolk to stop the bleeding, but that's game over.
No.
That is game over. We could not. We just got our pockets ran. We have. Wow, that Strand of Raging Fire really took over. Yeah, no, it happens.
How it happens.
I mean, truly, hindsight is 20/20. Like you said, that Tipo, like you recommended, if that was to happen, you ink the CISO. It just feels great.
The sale. I was like, God, that's so rough.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, man.
The commentators will be in here shortly to talk to you guys.
We are in the channel right here. Well, first of all, fantastic games. So thank you for that. Thank you for providing that beautiful, beautiful game.
Yeah, it was awesome to watch. I mean, you guys are going to have to go back and watch the replay because Breezy and I are sitting here going, no, he pulled the Sisu. No, he has the strength. It was nuts. Back and forth. Absolutely crazy.
I'm not going to lie. After game 1, I was like, man, I picked the wrong deck for the event. This just is not going to go my way.
I know. I felt super confident after round 1 or game 1.
Like I was blown out. I was like, oh, man, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to go back with my tail between my legs for the boys.
but going in, you found all the answers you were looking for. I mean, you found the sudden chills back to back. You found the hypnotizers to run Alex's pockets and make sure that he doesn't get to ramp up. He doesn't get to do anything. And it worked out.
No, for sure. Game 3 was super unfortunate for him.
Oh, yeah.
When I looked at his hand initially off of the Diablo 1, I was like, it's going to be a non-game, and I'm so sorry.
That happens.
Yeah, all those uninkables. It's hard. I mean, as a fellow Ruby Sapphire player, it's hard when you pitch all these cards and you're like, oh, I'm gonna draw all these inkables, and then you're like, 3 big Sisus, delicious. This is great for me.
Yeah, I put back 3 uninkables off the start because I had a second B prep in my opening, and How Far I'll Go. I wanted to get rid of all my songs, so I got rid of those 2, and I just drew more and more uninkables. I'm like,
so unfortunate, so unfortunate. I do have a question regarding the game 3, the Tipo. We were talking about it on the stream there, rather than playing the Tipo, keeping the Tipo to make sure those uninkables are at least doing something. What made you decide that this well, I know now you don't have a lot of inkable, but why did we ink that Tipo early on?
The big reason is Tipo's a net -1 card, whereas Sail can at least keep up the card advantage. Tipo is just the only way you keep the card advantage is his body on board, and that isn't worth anything, and it just gives him a free target for Storm.
Right. I mean, obviously, hindsight is 120, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, even if I get rid of an uninkable in hand, it ramps me just as fast. But because it was either ink one or the other, I wanted to I had to keep the Brawl, and I wanted to. I mean, maybe I can ink Haram and keep double ramp, but that I don't know.
Right. Hindsight, honestly, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
The reason why I did it was basically just play the Sail. If he has the Ursula to rip the How Far I'll Go, I'm still in the same amount of card advantage as if I were to Tipo, but I have at least have the How Far I'll Go in the discard for the Shark if I need it.
Gotcha, yeah.
Fair, absolutely. Well, it was really entertaining to watch. I had a lot of fun. That was a crazy turn of events for that game. You guys both did amazing. Thank you for letting us watch. That was epic. If you guys want to go ahead and shout out your team, shout out your mom, your best friend, what you ate for breakfast today, let me know. Guys, this is your time to say whatever you want.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thanks to my team, Maelstrom. Without their support and just all the boys helping me make deck decisions and learn how to play the game, I wouldn't be half the player I am today. And just everybody at the ICL that's making everything go. Our judges doing fantastic jobs. I did get called out for readying my ink beforehand, before my turn-ins. So they're catching little things and trying to make sure we're playing to the best of our ability anytime. So really appreciated being part of it.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How about you,
shout out to the portal, all the guys on the team, RJ, Zach, Bailey won't be able to play today, but shout out to all of them. Bailey's the one who got me onto the red-blue deck. We love Shark and Pirate's Life. It was the main reason why I got on the deck. I absolutely love it.
It's a great
But
combo.
yeah, shout out to them. I wasn't a red-blue player before the moment Shark Pirate's Life was a thing. I was like, I'm sold.
Yes. Become a pirate, a shark pirate. I love it.
Everyone becomes a pirate when the shark's around.
Right.
Exactly.
Love it. Well, awesome. Thank you again. It was really great to watch you guys. Really appreciate it. And good luck on set 7. Can't wait to see what you all brew up for round 2.
It's spicy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time. We're already working on some stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm excited.
amazing stuff. And again, thank you so much for getting on, playing the game, showing us the sauce before we send set 6 into the sail away into Arcasia's Island.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right. Fantastic games. It was crazy though. Like being able to see what both of these decks can do at some point was really fantastic. Wow. Just it hurt my feelings.
It did. That's what I'm sitting here like, oh, as a Ruby Sapphire player, watching all those come down, like the sudden chills, you're like, I'm gonna have PTSD from watching that game.
Oh, yeah.
But it
No,
does happen
another
all
one.
the time.
No, I'm telling you guys, after game 1, I was like, I'm so cooked. Like, I was like, because I was between this and Emerald Amethyst, just as a thing, and Aaron is team captain. Like we all, of course, were asking him, what do we need to play? And Aaron put me on Green Steel because he wanted to play something different. So no, like after game 1, I was like, this is, I should have went with my heart.
Yeah,
but it worked out.
The one thing I was like debating was the turn I brawled the Diablo. I drew another brawl and I didn't ink it because I was like, it's either an Ursula or a Diablo that's about to come down, and you're just like, bam, another Prince John, and I'm like, God damn it.
Well, like, so I also just like put you in a weird spot.
Yeah. Oh, you 100%
like,
did. You played it perfectly.
Like had you not brawled the Diablo, I had the second one behind. So like if you just inked one, you would have just
Okay, so it's good because the moment I brawled, I drew another, and I was like, I'm not gonna ink this brawl because the moment you slap a Diablo or an Ursula down, it's cooked for me.
Yeah. So like I knew you had the one, so I was like, I have to force him to use it, so he can't like get any more ink up to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right.
And thank you, gents.
Alrighty. Oh. Can I not hear you? Is that just a me problem? There we go.
Next game as Maelstrom takes on this first victory. I'm a little selfish, so respect. I was rooting for the boy, got the win. I'm excited for that. We're gonna send you off into a beautiful next set of crew to cast the game, and really excited to see what happens next.
That would be awesome. I think we have JDZ Quest is coming on next.
No big deal. Even one of the coolest people in the platform here.
I love
and
him.
You can
His
sing?
outfits are always so good. So every time I watch him, I'm like, I want to be you when I grow up. I am 10 out of 10. So
his Disney fantastic. Shirt collection is like next level, and I'm very jealous. Like it really upsets my feelings that I don't have that collection, but I will one day when I grow up to become like JDC.
We'll just admire. We'll just get to admire him every time he gets on. We'll be like, yes. What shirt are we wearing today?
Oh, that's a good.
All right, we got to wave. We're leaving.
We're getting kicked off. Bye.
Yeah.
Unfetter myself. Greetings and salutations, my fellow Illumineers. What a great game. What a great match. I love the energy. White Breezy, Torok in the building. I love it. And I love the kind words. My shirts, they're okay. They're okay at best. But man, man, oh man, what a fantastic match that they had the opportunity to broadcast there. I enjoyed it. They had me laughing the entire time. I thought it was really great. I thought it was highly competitive, and there's some cool things that went down. But I'm not alone. We're in the building. With me today, I have the talented and capable Tegan out here holding it down. Tegan, are you ready to rock and roll?
I'm very ready to rock and roll.
All right, let's do it. Let's get loose. Hopefully our match is as good as theirs. You know, maybe I don't know. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough act to follow.
It's always great to see decks do what they want to do, and I think we got to see that in both of those games. We got to see Red Blue kind of ramp and top deck super well in a couple of spots. We got to see Discard do its thing and really kind of own the game that way. We've got two more really exciting decks. We've got another Red Blue deck, but it's going to be a slightly different build.
Spoilers, no spoilers. We gotta let it play out, Tegan. We gotta let the people see what it comes, because we can't spoil it just in case they're listening. You know, we don't want to give them any tips of what they might be coming in to encounter. So no spoilers. But you did kind of leak a little bit. There's going to be a little bit of I think it's exactly what just happened before, but the reverse, I would say, a little bit. So it's going to be kind of cool to see what happens in this match. The builds are slightly different, though.
What are your thoughts on this matchup coming up?
If I had to call it, no spoilers. Okay, no spoilers. If I had to call it, I would put it as about as 50-50 as possible, with a slight edge to one side. I'm not going to say which side until they start playing, because again, I don't want to reveal too much information until the game starts. But I think this has an opportunity to be a pretty incredible matchup if the players, like you said, get to demonstrate what their deck is designed to do. Because sometimes, as you know, in Digital Arcana, it is a trading card game. You are going to brick, just like we saw last round. The Red Blue player kind of just didn't get the opportunity to demonstrate their deck's capabilities, and that does happen. So hopefully that doesn't go down. We have a nice, clean, fair matchup where everyone gets to deploy their tactics, and hopefully it works out. So that's the goal. At least we can hope.
I think what's exciting about this matchup is we have two of the pretty premier decks from this format. And since this is the last match here of round one of the ICL, I think it's pretty exciting that we get to see two decks that have really had a very big impact on Arcasia's Island is the next set, but the Azurite Sea meta. These are really two decks that, from front to back, from this format, have really been two of the most popular decks in the format. So we're really going to get to showcase them here during this match, which is really exciting.
And I think I'm so excited for this new set to come out, because this set 6 meta, a lot of people kind of got tired of it, but we were in this meta for a really long time, and I thought it was incredibly balanced. There were several decks that could perform well, and there wasn't that many extreme counter picks. I mean, there were still going to be bad matches, but there was a lot of balance there, and a lot of people were able to demonstrate not only their playing ability, but their deck building ability as well. So I like set 6. Set 7 is only just going to introduce more cards, more things to experiment with. And I think it's going to add so many more layers to the game. And I'm really excited to see what the next set brings us. What cards are you most looking forward to going into Arcasia's Island?
I mean, I'm really excited for Arcasia's Island. I started playing this kind of more aggressive blue steel approach early last set. I was kind of developing it on my own. I had heard that Harlan and Jack were kind of working on this Kiwi Birds build, but I had been kind of on that same train. So I'm really excited to continue that this set. I think the Bell is just a really powerful card. We know that turn 2 being able to sing Storm is just one of the most powerful things you can do in the game. Steel Song has had it. This kind of diggy style deck has had it. The green steel deck can do it by shifting Diablo, and so now blue steel has its own way to be able to sing Let the Storm Rage on turn 2 and really kind of dominate the board early on in a game. So that's the deck that I'm most excited to build out of the gate. What about you?
I'm so excited for a lot of different things. I like playing a lot of rogue, a lot of off meta. I'm really looking into this not the puppy thing, not the puppies, but what's her name? The lady stuff, the yellow green, or amber emerald, the puppy or the lady stuff. I really want to dig into that and see how far we can take it, because there's some really cool stuff we can do there. Also, I really want to get into this Ink Geyser thing. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the villain. I'm gonna put on my villain costume and see if we can ruin some people's day with this Ink Geyser card. I think that card is going to change the game forever. I'm really big on it. I'm really high on it. And of course, the Enchanted Tamatoa. If I can get a couple of those, I can retire early, like sell those and then buy a yacht somewhere in the south of France and just live my days, because that thing's gonna be super expensive as they made that the Chase Enchanted card for this next set. So it's gonna be cool. I'm excited. I'm ready for it. I'm looking forward to it.
I know a lot of people are kind of concerned about Ink Geyser and what it will do to the game, but we got to keep Ruby Sapphire in control some way, right? And that is definitely a tool. So looks like the players are ready to go here. We've got Aaron Rubin from Maelstrom on the left-hand side. We've got Zachary Sexton from the Portal on the right-hand side. Players are shuffling up and drawing.
All right, so it is underway. It is time. It's Friday night. It's time to get pumped, okay? We got to lock in. Everyone's here on a Friday. You just got paid. No more work. It's time to get into some Lorcana. So if you're out there getting your adult sip on, let us know. Get into the chat. We're reading all the chat. Who you guys think is going to win? Maelstrom. They're coming in. They got not a lot to prove. This is that's the powerhouse of the sale. They're one of the strongest organizations in Disney Lorcana, in my most humble opinion. So they're going to have to represent. They did get the round 1 win, but now they have to complete the drill. And Lorcana Bro is going to have to do some uphill climbing to defend the base. But I think Zachary's not going to just roll over and die. So we're going to see how this is going to go as we are into the second round, game number 2.
I think we're going to see Zachary here on the play, since Maelstrom took game 1, or at least Zachary will have the opportunity here to be on the play. So that should help Portal out here in game 2.
And that is the ICL new rule, which I think is really great. That if the team that doesn't win round number 1, they get to choose who goes first or second in round number 2. And typically in Lorcana, if you don't know, you're always going to go first, like no matter what. So going first, critically important, does give you a little bit of an edge. As it looks like we're going to go ahead and start the turn 1. Daisy is going to come out. So I think I got some bad information in the deck list that I got issued, because I didn't see that card being available, but it looks like it's going to be on the approach right now as we kick it back on over.
Yeah, we've got a turn 1 Daisy. That's exactly what you want to be doing here. Aaron coming out with develop your brain on turn 1, inking the McDuck Manor. So it looks like we're going to have a Amber Steel versus some sort of Sapphire deck here.
Okay, so inking that McDuck Manor, we got no board, and I believe with that inking, this might be more of that DKP style build, as we'll go ahead and quest that Daisy. This deck typically doesn't play that many actions, and or as many characters, and you're going to hit one with the TPO. What are the chances? What are the odds?
This deck, looking at the deck list, there's almost 30 or over 30 non-characters in this deck. So there's a lot of things for Daisy to kind of spike and bottom, and to get a character, it's pretty unlucky, especially it being a TPO, which if Aaron didn't have ramp, well, now he does.
That's really unfortunate for Zach, but it looks like we're getting the TPO into the Inkwell, and then we're going to go ahead and play the TPO. So a little bit of Clone Wars. Man, I cannot stand TPO. That's my least favorite card. Okay, every time I see TPO, I just a fury rises within me, and I don't know why. Can't control it. I don't know. It's a rage, and it's happened so much because he's such a good card, and that's probably why it rages me out so much.
Put another card face down into the Inkwell using TPO's effect. That's really what this deck wants to do on turn 2 every time.
So we will get another Robin Hood into a Pete. So you will be able to stop any actions. I mean, maybe sometimes they save that Pete for that how far I'll go turn, as we'll send the let it go down to the bottom of the deck as well. I think, yeah, maybe, but you got to get out on curve. Just trying to put some bodies down to protect your spot. Not too bad.
Well, with Aaron on 3 ink, this is the how far I'll go.
Oh,
turn.
Okay. You're right. I'm blind.
Now, Aaron can just play out a Tala or like a Goofy here to challenge the Piglet. But this does block the kind of hyper ramp strategy of playing how far I'll go here, and trying to get to that 6 ink for the Shark or 7 ink for B prep as soon as possible. So Pete here, a really good call. It's really disruptive, and it's just going to buy you more time.
And we are sending 4, and it is the Goof, just like he said. So Goof's out, able to challenge and banish that Piglet, gain some lore in the process. I think that's really clean. And let's see if we exert this TPO. Probably not. Um, probably not, as we'll just go ahead and pass there. Yeah.
It's interesting. I think you could kind of get a free quest with the TPO, because you have to think that Pete is going to go into the goof or sing a song here. So I think you're leaving one lore on the table by not questing TPO here.
Yeah, probably just feeling a little afraid, just electing to keep that Daisy or keeping that TPO ready just to protect before you send the Be Prepared to the bottom of the deck too. Oh no. So you got your one payoff, and now it looks like you're getting absolutely punished here with all these cards going to the bottom of the deck for Locana Bro. Hate to see it.
And that is the maximum punish there, right? You want to be drawing into that B prep and playing it on 7 ink. And as the Amber Steel player, that's the hit you want when you're playing Daisy.
Absolutely. And now you just one less. So now you got no Let It Go. You got no Be Prepared. Those are two fantastic outs that you would love to get into that you probably won't see for the rest of this game. As you get into a popsicle up, thinking about what we're going to play here, I think you're kind of falling behind in position, as this, I believe this might be a diggy hole style list. It's what it's looking like, or maybe it's just more of an aggressive build. You're losing this race, as that's just, you lost it on board, and you're still playing all these searching cards. You just can't seem to put anything together, unfortunately.
I like playing the develop here. It allows you still have 2 ink. So if you draw into a sail or a TPO, you can ramp again this turn, potentially, or we're just going to see the brawl come down.
Okay.
Removing the Daisy. And I think that's really important. Sometimes you want to leave the Daisy on board and take that extra draw. But with this deck, with how many non-characters there are, the Daisy can just be devastating.
And we already saw that a big effect of that. You got the Be Prepared and the Let It Go already, so you didn't want to risk losing another card, and you just got to also stay in the game. This new version of Red Blue is quite dynamic and it is powerful, but you got to figure out how to last. You got to get to the turn where you can get the shark up, and if you lose the game before that even happens, then what are we even talking about? So I still think Zachary's in a very comfortable position, as Locana Bro is just trying to put the pieces back together, string together some Pirate's Lives. Maybe if you can salvage a shark and get to that Be Prepared turn, you can turn this game around still. It's far from over.
Yeah, he definitely has a chance to turn it around. I think what is difficult in this matchup for the Amber Steel player is once their board does get removed in that eventuality of a B prep, it's hard to recover sometimes. It is a little bit easier to recover against this DKP style list, since they don't have the big Sisu that can come out and punish you and just kind of own the board state. Amber Steel doesn't have very many ways to gain lore without having to quest, right? These kind of diggy lists don't have that kind of reach, which make it very hard to finish against some of these decks once you lose the board.
I mean, your position, you have to be feeling a bit comfortable with these positions now, as you're going to play, as you're just playing out the Grandma Tala, just still digging and searching. You are going to be going into your 7 ink next turn, and I don't think that they can get you here. So if you can survive, if no Pete here, you might be able to clear this board, and you're getting back into the thick of it with a nice meaty quest. You can probably put GGs on the board with the Pete, if my math is correct. Math don't be mathing all the time, but you know what it is. As we're going to go ahead and hit the storm onto the Grandma Tala. What are your thoughts on both of these decks, though? Metagamically speaking, I know they're both quite prevalent. They kind of took over this set 6, the DKP style towards the end, and this diggy hole throughout from very early on. What do you think about both of these strategies?
I really like this style of red blue. I've been saying for a while that I think there's a red blue build that can just kind of play manor defense in a similar way that RP used to play a couple of sets ago with castles. And so the deck is very consistent, but there's a lot of really difficult decisions. Every turn you're playing a card that digs you deeper. You're looking at 2 cards, you're looking at 5 cards, but making the right decision is something that can come back and really bite you in the butt.
100%.
The diggy style of deck, I think, is very powerful. It's not a deck that I've played a lot of, but I've definitely played against it a fair amount. And it is it's very powerful. It can get going really fast, really quickly, and it has this ability just to refill the board once you do clear the board. And that's what we saw here. We saw the B prep coming down, and then immediately, oh, there's 2 more threats on board, questing for 3. But the B prep response, the double B prep, this is what you want as the Ruby Sapphire player coming back.
And that was a great call and response, great rebuttal. Double be prepared, as you're going to continue to slam cards onto the field. You're at 15, and we've seen this song and dance so many times come in from this matchup, specifically the Ruby Sapphire versus the Amber Steel. They can get up to 16, 17 and just kind of get break checked and just kind of hold out, as this Maui Half Shark has landed onto the board. So now when you start coupling up some manners, you start coupling up some Pirates lives, you can start trying to steal, you can start trying to take back over this game, as you will continue to rain some storms onto the Half Shark, gaining some cards. And then now you could technically quest this Calhoun if you felt so inclined.
I like this play from Zachary, putting 2 damage on the Shark, because now if you do exert the Calhoun, it has to trade, or he has to give you that popsicle, right?
Yeah.
To heal it off, and that means he's not going to have food for the Hiram. And so, if you can starve this deck from resources, it does not have the kind of Tamatoa item engine that the kind of normal list does. So a lot of what it does can cantrip, and you can fall really far behind. We do see the Pirate's Life coming through here. And this is where games just kind of start to fall apart when you're facing this deck, because Pirate's Life is going to come down. You're going to lose 2 lore. You're going to drop back down to 13, and the Shark is going to gain an additional lore after playing that Pirate's Life, bringing you up to 6. So the board is frozen here. If you quest, you're only questing for 3, going back to 16, and then you're going to see your board get cleared by the Shark and the Maui, and that Pirate's Life is going to come back to hand. And it's just a brutal cycle here that you can fall into.
Oh, 100% agree. 100% agree. And we do go ahead and pop that popsicle, which I think is a heads up play, just to play around a potential Strength of a Raging Fire play to clear out the Maui Half Shark, because now that he's here, you can't do anything and you're just kind of stun locked. As we're going to continue to play characters, Robin Hood, no shift required, is going to splash himself onto the field. And I guess you're going to have to continue to stare down. You can't really do anything. And this is where Lorcana Bro can feel the momentum starting to shift, and you can feel everything starting to turn the tides as another popsicle comes in. Oh man, oh man, oh man. This is not looking good for Zachary as another popsicle is raining in. Tegan, what's happening here? Oh, how are you feeling? Who has the energy right now?
I think Zachary's got a turn or 2 here to try to build a wide enough board and quest for game. We know that, and the Let It Go comes through on the Robin Hood, and that just puts Zachary further behind here. Because again, we're only showing 3 on board. With the Robin Hood, we were showing 5. You could play another character and threaten game next turn. But now you're just going to fall behind. The manor comes down. You cannot clear the manor. And every turn, Aaron Rubin is just going to be getting 2 lore off that, off the manor. And that's what this deck wants to do. It wants to build its resources and then slam manor and make you turn sideways to try to take out the manor, where the Shark can just challenge in and get those actions back.
Oh, I think this is a pretty crucial lock. And I love how you take the remaining ink, putting the Half Shark into the manor just to ensure that, what I'm saying, he's a little protected, feeling a little bling bling in his Airbnb, hanging out there. And now Zach has to be kind of tilting a little bit. I can't see them, but I could just assume that, like, man, this can't be real. This can't be real. As you are pondering what you're going to do, you have 3 cards still in hand. I think we have to take your approach. Just keep slamming characters and keep hoping, and maybe you can get 7 lore on the board and just quest out. Right now, you're showing 5. That might be the plan.
I think that kind of has to be the plan here, because if you turn sideways, you're going to lose. Right now, Manor's only going to take Aaron up to 10. And then there's a possibility of chaining a few actions together to gain a few more lore. But you probably have 1, hopefully 2 more turns, and try to just be able to put 1 more character out and quest for game.
I'm surprised. I wonder what the 2 cards in hand are. You couldn't put 2 more or another character in play with that 3 ink remaining. So that might tell a story of what that hand could be. Maybe it is some Rapunzel activity. Who knows what's happening there? As Hiram comes out too to make it matters even worse, as you're going to add more cards to the equation, and then you're going to be able to go for the vision of the future as well. So this is just, when it rains, it pours, I guess, and it's pouring right now on Zachary's livelihood, as we're going to get some more cards to the hand. Another Pirate's Life here, and I don't think you can recover from that anymore, because this game is going to be coming to a screeching halt quite soon as we're continuing to chain these items together, actions, excuse me, and this is looking rough, Tegan. I think the goose might be cooked here.
And this is exactly what I'm saying. With that shark on board, it's just devastating to be able to chain these actions, because every single one of them, they just cantrip, right? They add another card to hand, and he does find the second Pirate's Life to be able to sing, dropping Zachary down to 11, and this game is over.
Yeah. And I can kind of sense the frustration from Zachary's position, because we've all been there before as an Amber Steel player, lock and load against Ruby Sapphire. You feel like you got it. You're so close. The recursion of Pirate's Life, the addition of Pirate's Life just completely made this matchup from almost okay to just downright just devastating sometimes, because you just can't ever, you're never going to just cross that threshold, and you're going to continue to do this, and you just got to just stare at it and watch it happen to you. You got Healthy Harem there for another quest to get 2 more cards to the hand, and I guess you got to take out the location. I don't know what you do here. I think the game is just I think we're going to game two.
I think you just scoop and go to game 2.
Yeah. And it's such a crazy, that's a tale of two stories. It's a tale of 2 games, because the early half was so dominated by Zachary, and you had everything you wanted. You're trying to go as fast as you possibly could into that Be Prepared, just cleared the board, and that shark, the shark got established with no cards in hand, and it was just strong enough to completely unearth this entire game. As we are going to go out on our shield, as we will quest heavy, going up to 16. Play Pete. Okay. Hold up. Let him cook. Hold up.
So
Now it's
Pete and Robin Hood coming down, representing lethal here.
hold up. This could be something here. What are we thinking? But I don't think
It's going to be enough, because the shark is going to take out either the Lilo or the Lawrence. And here he's just scooping it up.
No, the super goof came out and just really, really complicated that that whole spot. But still a good game, just showing how powerful this deck is, showing how troublesome it can be, this combination of cards. And I don't think that this is going to go away. Going into the next set, I had the pleasure and fortune to sit down with your DLC Australia winner, Dean Khan Pham, DKP, the creator of this deck, and he has some very interesting takes on it. And I think it's going to be something that he continues to develop with by adding new cards in from the next set. So I'm scared. I don't like playing against it. The mirror is awful. What are your thoughts about this deck? Do you think it gets better going into the next set in this strategy?
It's interesting, because this deck does not play the overwhelming amount of items, and so I feel like this set, red blue gets a whole bunch more items. It gets the Sapphire Coil, it gets the Bell, it gets the Bell Shift, it gets some of those cards. But this version of the deck, we don't really get too many more cards for this version of the deck, but I don't know if it matters. This deck is just so consistent, and it plays 4 ofs almost everything in the deck, and its goal is just to keep digging, to find those answers, and to play the patient game. We see Lorcana Bros player profile here up on screen. Top 16 at DLC Atlanta, top 64 at DLC Chicago, top 128 in DLC Vegas, and of course, number 1 in all of our hearts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And very strikingly handsome as well. I like that picture. I like these cards. Shout out to Katie for making these cards. They look beautiful. It adds another texture to it. You get the chance to see your favorite players, and representing the Maelstrom doing their thing. And look at this. Look at this right here, as Zachary in there from the portal. Hottest hands east of the Connecticut River. Undisputed 2-time second place finisher. And sorry, that caught me by surprise. The Portal Set Championship. Bucky Advocate, Prince John's #1 critic, Diablo's right wing man. That is hilarious. Sorry, that caught me by surprise.
For as much as he's representing the green steel discard here in the player profile, he's not playing green steel discard.
I know I thought it was going to be a green steel versus red blue again, but I guess I was wrong. But you know what? You like Bucky. Shout out to Bucky, man. R.I.P. to Bucky. Hopefully they don't hopefully they don't do too many other guys like that.
As I like to say, Bucky died for Diablo's sins.
Probably. Diablo is the real problem. Diablo was the problem. Bucky didn't do anything wrong, Take that. No, I'm kidding. He was a menace. He was a menace straight from the dentist. As we are going into the altar position here, it looks like we got a quality send back. What's the game plan, though? How do you win? If you're Zachary, what do you do to change the way that last game went? It felt like you did everything right, and it just didn't work out for you. How do you repair this now that you know the cat's out of the bag?
I really think, we're looking for a triple 1-drop opening into Ruby Sapphire. I think the hard thing is that these diggy style lists don't always have that triple 1-drop opening because they often only play 8 1-drops. Sometimes they'll play a few more playing the happy, but they're playing 4 Cinderella and 4 Daisy. But you want to try to flood the board as quickly as possible. And even though Piglet is questing for 3 when you have that second character on board or that third character on board, it's just not enough to get you out in front of these Ruby Sapphire decks. They're going to be slow to clear the board, but when that Goofy comes down and handles that Piglet, you're just kind of dead in the water questing for 2 or 3, which is just not going to be enough. We see the Cinderella on 1 here. And this is not what you want to see on 1. I think you want to see the Daisy here on 1 every time. But we'll see if he can follow it up with more 1-drops on turn 2.
As we'll just respond with a popsicle, but inking that Lilo, maybe having Lilo on 2 might not be the worst thing. But Lilo versus Maui Half Shark typically ends poorly for the Lilo combatant. So maybe putting it to the Inkwell might be the heads up cash money meta play. As we are going to take your advice, put the Pooh Piglet Pirate into the Inkwell before jamming another one into the field of battle and Cindy Quest for 1. So that's not the turn. That's not what you described there, Tegan. This is not the turn that you want to see, I guess, as you're coming out of the gates quite slow again, as the Ruby Sapphire player is going to start doing their thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be questing for 1 here. I think maybe the advantage that this does give us is it does give us a singer. So, when the Tipo comes down, we can remove the Tipo immediately, maybe draw a card. When the Goofy comes down, maybe we can sing a song, remove it that way with that cheap 1-cost singer. But this is definitely a slower start than you usually want to see.
Absolutely, 100%. So we do have the Tipo. He did reveal his head again. I just want to punch it every time I see it, but that's for another story. Let's see if he's going to get his Storm raged on, and he will. The Storm will rage on, and Tipo will be sent on into the discard pile. The Pooh, let's see, we got to get another character onto the board to get max value from this Pooh Piglet, and we're going to do it. We're spamming. We got a big add in here, as we will get that full value 3, and this position looks a lot better now.
This position is better. Being able to deploy 2 more characters to the board. So if the Goofy comes down here, Aaron's going to have to delay that ramp for a turn instead of being able to just go into how far I'll go. So this is a pretty difficult decision. If you don't play the Goofy here, that Piglet's just going to keep questing and might put the game out of reach here. So I think the best play for Aaron here is to play the Goofy to come down to clear that Piglet. And try to get this board under control.
But then you're staring at that Calgoon just sitting there, just ready to feast on this Goofy. You're going to serve it up, and I guess you're correct. You still will get 2 lore from this Calhoun takedown, but I think you're correct. Oh, we're going to heal. Never mind. I didn't see that Popsicle there. Popsicle is going to deploy, heal the Super Goof in order to protect the Goof from Calhoun. I thought that was another heads-up play, as we will pass back on over. So Cindy survives another turn. Does she have another song? Can she harmonize and vocalize? Strength of Raging Fire is decent. Storm Rage On will be a little bit better, or nothing at all. Let's see what happens. Dang.
I think that was a really heads-up play from Aaron, healing the Popsicle. A lot of players might leave that Popsicle there, hoping to try to play a Hiram and get value. But I think Aaron knows that in this matchup, they're just going too fast for you to deploy Hiram this early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be focusing on ramping, on board control to keep yourself in the game. We see a Donald coming down. Donald is not a card you normally see in this list. Donald is going to come down, give +1 lore to one of these characters. And of course, Donald can come in exerted, which it looks like is going to happen here, as a bodyguard. So Robin Hood is going to quest for 2 here. Cinderella singing a song to remove the Goofy.
Okay, so there was a strength. So he did have the strength. I thought that was a great play. This spot looks phenomenal here. So I think your Maui, you need Maui now to even kind of slow down a little bit, get some plus value back as you're going into that 5th ink turn. But that was an incredible chain of events. And Zach has to be feeling even better. Maui does come in. So
tapping 5 for the Maui. Exactly right. Good read.
Absolutely. And I think that was a nice little tempo take back a little bit. You can take this Calhoun in for a trade or just keep questing and let Maui keep clubbing and hope for the best. And it looks like you're gearing up for a rebuttal and you'll take it. Go 9. Board's empty. And you know who's coming next. Oh my goodness, Tegan. You already know who's about to happen.
Yep. We're probably going to see a shark here this turn.
And he's coming. You can dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Jaws in the waters. We tap 6. We slam them almost instantly. And Maui the half shark has appeared. And just like last time, hopefully you got an answer for it, or he's going to completely stifle your momentum yet again. But I don't think there are any actions in there. Are there actions in the discard so far?
There are no actions in the discard. So this is actually the safest place that you can quest.
Mm-hmm.
I think what might happen here, though, is we might see an action get played. And then the shark can challenge in and grab it. The best thing here probably is how far I'll go. It's going to ramp you without spending a hand card.
Okay, so you're still racing, and this race looks winnable, at least, unless we get that Notorious Pirate's Life into a challenge, into a Return of Pirate's Life, and it's just going to be that's a pretty nice turn 6 play if you can put that one together, or turn 7 play. We will go ahead and hit the how far I'll go, just like you said. Get a ramp, ink, be prepared. Is that the vibe?
Possibly. Unfortunately, that ink comes in exerted.
I know, but they get 1 to hand, so they should. If they had to be prepared in hand, they still could ink the 1 card and then play the 1 if it worked out that way. And we're gonna go for vision.
It looks like that's what we're seeing. Yep.
Ooh. So you gain a lore in the process too. And you're at 16, 1 card in hand. We've seen this song and dance before. I've been here 1,000 times myself. You guys know how it is. Let's see if Zachary can pull it together. 2 cards in hand. Can you do it? 3. You're stuck on 3 ink, as it looks like you're about to. We got 1 card is Cinderella. We will ink the Cinderella. Play the dock. Wow, strong dock there.
This is exactly what you want to see. If you're Zachary in this position, you want to be able to deploy a number of things to the board here, and you just hope that there's not a follow-up B prep.
Oh, follow-up Maui half shark. So that does kind of equal a B prep, and this race might be almost winnable if you just. I say don't quest.
Well, Zachary's at 16, and the Piglet quests for 3,
never mind. Yeah,
and the Doc quest for 1. As long as he had a character to play, the game was pretty much over.
Absolutely. And we're kind of fortunate. We do get a game 3. That's what I want to see, Tegan. I want to see more Lorcana action. I need more games. So I was secretly rooting for Zach there, just so we can push a game number 3 and we get to see Lorcana Bro on the play this time. So that was an interesting game, interesting matchup. I think Zach was able to negotiate those obstacles quite well, force a game number 3, had the right characters. That dock was incredibly strong. Some of the cards, the strength was really good. I think that was a good show. Good show.
I think what was key to Zach's kind of success there was going wide early, right? We weren't able to do it immediately by doing 2 1-drops on turn 2, but being able to deploy 2 things to the board on turn 3 really set Zachary up to put a lot of pressure on very quickly. And then, of course, having the dock to follow up the B prep is just exactly how you want to play that.
Oh, 100%. But how are you guys out there in chat? Let's get pumped. Let's get lit. I mean, you guys are being whisper quiet out there in the chat, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, because it's Friday. Okay, it's Friday night. We're playing Lorcana. This is the ICL. This is the final round, final game, or final set of the round 1. Okay, we're going into round 2. We're going to take a little hiatus, and then we're going to return back for more Lorcana action. So I want to hear from y'all. You guys need to start pumping it up. We got a game number 3, and we're all here together. And let's hear it. Let's clap it up. Let's do it.
Got the smiley face on Zachary's board. Zachary's feeling pumped. It's Friday night. We're playing Lorcana. That's exactly what we want to be doing.
I can't think of a better place to be on a Friday night is out here playing some Disney Lorcana with the friends, watch some high level competitive action, getting better, closing out set 6 with a blast. I think it's gonna be great. When we come back after the break, we'll be playing set 7. So proxies will be authorized. Set 7 will be in on the next round. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited to see what players are going to cook up.
I don't think proxies are allowed, so players will have to get the actual cards in time for the first matches.
Okay. I was wrong.
We will be seeing a new meta in round 2. This is the final match of round 1, and round 2 will begin on Monday, March 10th. We're going to be moving to 3 matches a week here on the ICL. Adding Mondays to the rotation, which will help kind of speed up the league, be able to get through the rotation a little bit faster and give players more chances to adapt to the ever-changing meta.
And give people an opportunity to try some new things and see what they're going to cook. I think, and these matches, these players are very talented. They put a lot of thought into this, and these matches may eventually shape what the meta can be like. So if you're tuned into the ICL, you're going to get the latest and greatest of what is hot in Disney Lorcana as we get the textbook opening start. Ink sale. Thoughts on that? Oh my goodness, probably got Tipo in hand, huh?
Yeah, it means he's definitely got a Tipo or he's got another sale.
And I think I personally, if I see that Cindy, I think I favor the sale over the Tipo. Maybe because I just can't stand Tipo. I have a vendetta against Tipo, so maybe that's a personal thing. But I would like to keep the sale and play the and play it to get another card to hope that thing works out a little bit as we play the Robin Hood to the board, trying to get some of that early lore. Maybe set up that shift line. Ink the Manor. It was double sale dueling as we will play another here.
Sale coming down, keeping that hand size healthy. We're going to get to ink another card here and potentially play a develop.
That could happen. Let's see if that's what if that is what Lorcana Bro elects to do. No, we will ink the develop, it looks like, and we won't play it. Okay, so maybe that might tell a story about what the hand is. Maybe you got some high quality cards in there already. You don't feel like you need to search for anything, or you just have some uninkable cards. But we know this deck only plays like 8 uninkable cards, so that'd be very unfortunate if you bricked on uninks with such few amount that you play.
Aaron is playing 1 copy of Energy Blast, which is a set 6 card. And it'll be interesting to see if we see that come out to play. We haven't seen it yet, and I think that's in part because the game is just going so fast here. So here's the triple 1-drop opening I was mentioning. And this is just immediately going to put a lot of lore pressure on, and we'll see if it's enough.
I mean, you didn't exert. You're not questing there, it looks like. I think you kind of maybe could have got. I know you're trying to play around the super goof. That is so insane. That super goof meta is so strong that you have to avert your eyes to not get goofed. Hate to see it, but you got to respect the goof. As we will go ahead and how far I'll go here, just continue to ramp. And this match is looking great as you're still sitting at 0 as you're going into your 6th ink turn. Tegan, I think this one might be getting out of hand for Zach right now.
And this is where it's so hard to face this Ruby Sapphire deck on the draw because they're just able to ramp so fast. We're already to 5 ink here, and Zachary only has 2 ink, so he's going into his 3 ink turn.
Yeah, and with no lore, if you look at the scoreboard, that is a 0 right there, big goose egg. And we say, super goof, you're not real, and send everyone exerted, just trying to run the race. Started a little bit late, but I think you got to go for something as we'll just go ahead and pass back on over. Let's see if Lorcana Bro takes the bait and sends the goof in right now. You could, but
I think what Zach does have going for him is we know it's at least 1 more turn until a B prep, right? So playing the Piglet out and threatening a very big quest next turn. And there's not a lot that Aaron can do about it.
Yeah, so he takes a turn off as well. So you will yield a little bit of that lore. Like you said, you can make another huge swing next turn as Grandma Tala is just going to cycle a couple of more cards. And you can almost guarantee that Be Prepared is coming in next turn. But you do have that 3 ink. So if you can put some Pete's together, Pete back, Pete back, Pete, you could potentially make something happen.
Yeah, I think Zach wants to play a Pete this next turn for sure to stop the B prep, to avoid the B prep, and just quest for a massive board here, and buy another turn before that B prep. Let's see if he has the Pete.
Let's see it. Here it is. This is your chance. Blow the whistle. You better blow it. You better get them lungs ready. Do you have it? Do you got it? Are you? Oh, no, we're thinking. No, you slam that Pete. That Pete's on the board immediately.
I have to believe if he had it, he'd be playing it very, very quickly.
So I don't. Oh,
there it is. There it is. There's the Pete.
He does have it. He's got it. And we're going to Zeus the Grandma Tala. And then we're going to quest heavy. So, wow, you do get to the Pete. If you can do it again, if you can play another Pete, you can steal this.
And the best that Aaron can really do here is play a shark or a Maui. And this is a tough position to be in as the red blue player, because you're really only playing one thing a turn. And unless you're going to slam a super goof plus an action here, it's really hard to deal with this wide board when the Pete comes out. Pete is just so devastating for this deck.
Right. A second Pete, I think it's going to be hard to recover from a back-to-back Peating. It could be possible. It could be possible. I think they did skip an ink. Maybe they're just holding. You can't play that how far it'll go as you're about to try to rip it. So showing that your hand just might just be not as strong as you would have liked it to be. As we'll go ahead and play the 6. We will set up the Maui Half Shark.
The shark.
So that's a good start if you are a Lorcana bro. As the strength of Radiant Fire, I didn't agree with that deployment of that strength to get the Grandma Tala off. I would have hoped to save it for this Maui Half Shark situation, but maybe I don't know the hand. I don't know what's going on, but you know that shark was coming, and you know it's going to come after you. Shift the Robin Hood, and then we're going to sing again. You got another one, another
the
strength.
Second follow up.
Oh my goodness,
huge.
Holy! And you will get a mighty quest in going all the way up to 15. But you don't have another Pete. So this Be Prepared here is going to be devastating. You need to have it, and you need to play it almost immediately. You can crawl back into this game, even at 15.
It's definitely a little scary. Zachary only has one card in hand, so unless it's a dock, you still have to think that you have a chance here as the red-blue player, because you can be prep and then maybe follow it up with a Pirate's Life and kind of start to crawl your way back into the game.
Yeah, it's prep or nothing. And he didn't have the prep. Lorcana bro didn't have it, even with the filtering, even with the oh no. And we're just gonna scoop it up here. No, Be Prepared as Zach just absolutely hits the gas pedal and gets to the Goblinski, evening the score to a 1-1 total of on the thing. Let me hop into the Discord. If I
got super fortunate for sure.
I'm old. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Letting you know, streamers are here for interviews. So.
Greetings. Lorcana bro, greetings. Zachary, how you guys doing? GG's, well played, good match. I thought it was a fantastic display of Lorcana gamesmanship. So starting with you, Zachary, again, congratulations on your victory. I loved your profile that you submitted in to the program. I was half expecting you to play a little bit of Green Steel.
Man,
can you talk about why did you bring the diggy hole, or I believe that was Amber Steel aggro? Why did you bring that deck to this event?
I did. I named it Diggy hole, hold the hole. I don't know if I can say that on Twitch though. So
don't get us. Yeah, we got to make some scruples over here. Don't do us like that. Come on.
I got you. Yeah, I love Green Steel. Really, I love mid range though. Like I love Diablo. Probably my favorite card in the game is 6-drop Tinkerbell, but Diablo is a close second. Love it. I just really don't like Prince John and just the spam sudden chill and Hypnotize. I don't like discarding my opponent's hand to 0. I was playing Green Steel mid range for the longest time with Robin Hoods, Clarabelles, like stuff like that. It just would just get stomped by red blue. And I've been playing Diggy for these past 4 weeks of set champs, so I've been pretty comfortable on it. It was between this. I was honestly thinking about red blue FOMS list because he's like a genius across multiple card games. So I was super interested in that as well because I knew it did really well against aggro. So I got really fortunate to win that third game. If he sees a B prep, I had Doc in hand, so I would have been able to reload a little bit. But if he rallies B preps into B preps, it's really rough.
We saw that happen in that game number 1. You came out and you were cooking, got the lure up quite high, and then the sales just got emptied, and then you end up falling down there. And then you rallied back for game 2 and game 3. But talking about that matchup, man, did you have any? I didn't see your deck list, but was there any card choices you made to prepare yourself for coming into this matchup?
I really love the Donalds because I mean, it's just people will do math and they're like, you don't have a goat pretty much, but Donald is my goat in that aspect. And there's sometimes when I had 2 because even game 1 it was pretty tight. He playing that other Pirate's Life. The second one killed me because the next turn I was gonna Donald and Pete, and then it would have went up to like 18, and he can't play a Pirate's Life. He can't play any actions. So he would have had to full clear me. I think he would have had to have like Ice Block Sisu. But I think he's on, I'd imagine similar to Fom's lists or probably close, which he doesn't play either of those cards, so it might have been tight for him. But I think he played the games pretty well. Super Goof definitely hurts. I mean, it's just it's not great for me. I have to play to my outs and just quest whenever I can. Because there was a turn where I didn't turn Robin Hood sideways in fear of Super Goof. But it was only one more. I wasn't really willing to risk.
I mean, you gotta play around it sometimes. You gotta play around. Tegan, I'm sorry, I'm hogging on the question. Do you have any questions for the winner, Zach? Before we bring in Lurkana, bro.
No, I think very, very well played. I think the Pete was huge in that game to be able to stop the potential B prep and just turn the board sideways. The Ember Steel is traditionally a rough matchup into red blue, but I think you navigated it really, really well, and being able to, especially I think, pressure the board early by deploying multiple things per turn. Is that generally your strategy when you're facing Ruby Sapphire? Is to try to get as wide as possible as quickly as possible?
Yeah, when their early threats are really TPO, and this version is definitely different because the Super Goofs, it's just turn after turn of just hitters where it's like Super Goof into Maui Shark, and it's if I can't remove Maui Shark immediately when it comes down, or I don't get to go up to like 15 or 16 lore, it's pretty much game over. That card just ends the game completely. And I really do think I got lucky the third game because if he sees a B prep there, I'm at 15, but 15 versus like 18 is very different.
Yeah, we were a little bit worried for you when you played that strength on the Tala, and JDZ was like, "Oh, I don't know if I like that call. Like Shark is coming next turn," but you had the second one to blow the Shark out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of times where I wasn't inking. Okay, I was drawing very good cards, so there was reason of me not inking for sure because I stood on 3 for like the back portion of that entire game.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, 19 might as well be a mile away from 20 in this matchup because you're not going to win until you get to 20. And with Pirate's Life being circled and all these things can happen, you'll never make it. But I got to bring in Lurkana Bro. Okay, Lurkana Bro, captain of the Maelstrom. New name, new brand, new team. I love to hear it. And you're in the ICL on your debut. It didn't go the way you wanted, but you brought a really cool, unique strategy to this game. Can you talk about this deck list? What made you bring the we call it the Den a Little Lore, you know what I'm saying, the manor, protect the manor red blue version of deck?
This deck's super sweet. I think it's just the best deck in the format right now. And it's really fun to play too. So I played it at a local tournament like last week or 2 weeks ago. Just went like undefeated with the deck and then split in the finals. So and that was the only time I had played it. So I just wanted to play one more time. Yeah.
Okay. And we're on our way out of sorry, team. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if you can talk a little bit about the difficult choices playing this deck. You obviously have a lot of filtering, and I know DKP talks about it, that it's a very difficult
list to kind of master and figure out what the best optimal plays are. Can you talk a little bit about, what you feel like is the difficulty level of playing the deck and about some of those difficult decisions?
Oh, I play green steel mostly, so this deck feels a lot easier to play than that
Okay.
deck. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I guess it's just, you have a lot of cantrips, you have a ton of options, right? So you have a ton of decision trees that you could go down. And so it's just really about knowing what the matchup is. So you can identify what the key cards are that are going to win you that game or that match. And so in this one, like obviously Pirate's Life is going to be really important. And you just want to aggressively play it because you never know if there's going to be a Pete coming down in another turn. So I mean, you saw that happen in game one. I was just like, I'll just sing with my shark while I can, just to get that lore down, so that the Pete doesn't blow you out. But yeah, that's basically it. It's just kind of understanding what the key cards are in the matchup, so you know what you're looking for with your cantrips. That's really the biggest thing.
Okay. Okay. So you say you've been playing this deck a bit, and you got some reps in against this Diggy Diggy Hole. I know that matchup can be kind of a 50-50 thing depending on how it goes. Can you just talk about that roller coaster ride that was this entire match? I know there was some highs, there were some lows, in all three of the games. I think there were some serious point differential swings as he had to make up a lot of ground. Can you talk about that matchup, how it went, or how it usually goes, and how those things went, and not getting that be prepared into that game three to push it along a little bit further?
I mean, I think you kind of saw how it usually goes among all three games. So it's either the Ruby Sapphire player is going to stabilize and take over with the Pirates' lives, and the Diggy Diggy Hole player is going to be like just out of reach, which you kind of saw in game one, which I didn't think I was going to win that game because I was on the draw and he went turn one Daisy, turn two Piglet. That was like a crazy game to come back from, but then you see the other side of it where he just like dumps his hand and follows that up with a Pete, and then follows that up with a Doc and keeps drawing more cards. So I mean, that's kind of how it plays out on one side or the other.
Okay, okay. It still was an incredible matchup, and we really enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. I know the fans out in the chat had a good time participating with it as well. So I just want to thank you both for your participation in the ICL and coming out and demonstrating your Lorcana questing ability. Hopefully, we can see more of each of your teams as you continue on. But I think we got to let you guys go so we can get back into your dojos with your teammates, cheer each other on, because we're going on to the round number 3, and this is all important. You want to win round number 1 in any tournament. So hopefully, you guys, so it can come out. I'll be watching to see who's going to come out on top.
Hey, thanks for being a great opponent, man. Fun playing you.
Yeah, GG's, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Take
Absolutely.
care.
GG's.
Oh, to the players, you guys got any special shout outs you want to give before you head off back to your locker rooms?
Yeah, my wonderful wife Micah, and then my buddies, Team Portal, of course. All my buddies in Connecticut and Western Mass.
Absolutely, absolutely. How about you, our Lorcana bro?
Yeah, just Team Maelstrom. I got this little pirate. I guess you can't see it, but it's like a pirate themed coin right here. But I don't know. We're not technically a pirate themed team, but I like to think that we are personally. So I'm leaning into it. Oh, it's all good. It's
Can you show it again and pull it up a little closer to the camera?
It might. I think the light, it just glares it when you bring it too close.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get your official Maelstrom hand dice, but no, the community has really rallied around the team, and we appreciate that. So
absolutely, I think it's going to be nothing but good things. The storm will rage on. Maelstrom forever. Okay. Absolutely. Again, thank you, gentlemen, both. And I hope you guys. I wish both of you luck in the remainder of the rounds of the ICL.
All right, you got it. Thanks for hosting.
Bye.
Well, it's been a pleasure casting with you, JDZ.
All right, Tegan. Thank you. I gotta thank you so much. Your knowledge and your charisma, I think, has unmatched. I had a great time being here with you on the ICL, and I enjoyed broadcast. I know I can do too much sometimes. Thanks for allowing me to kick it with you. It's been nice to meet you and to do this. But if I want to see more of you, where can I see Tegan? How can I get to know more of what Tegan's up to in Lord?
Yeah, I got a YouTube channel, Tegan Ross, and got my first card reveal last week. So we revealed a couple of magical cards, and we do a weekly podcast. Most of the time it's weekly, called 100 Acres of Ink. We cover some of the big news stories and then kind of break down some of the major events. We record it on Friday night and try to post it on Saturdays. So look for that tomorrow. We'll have a new episode out tomorrow. What about you? Where can people find you?
I mean, you guys see me. I'll be here on the ICL every single night I can. And I'm also JDZ Quest on Twitch, on YouTube, on X, on everything. JDZ Quest, I stream on Twitch almost every day. And I upload on YouTube probably 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe 3, maybe 2. I don't know. Sometimes. YouTube's working on it. We're working on it. But check me out if you guys want to see more. And I'm looking forward to doing this again with you and kicking it with Luke Wonderland and all of you wonderful Illumineers out here in the ICL space. So we got to get ripped out of here. It looks like we got Katie coming up next. So
bye. Have a great night, everyone.
Oh my goodness. Still muted. Fantastic. All righty. Next player for the portal is going to be RJ. Champ top 4s and 2 DLC Let It Goes. Yes, we can.
But yeah.
There you are. Welcome.
Hello, welcome. Is this your first time casting on the ICL?
No, this is my second time. First time I did get to cast with a teammate. Yes. Sisu. So super excited to be back. Super excited to be here with you. How is your Friday night going?
Well, it's been good because everybody wants to sweep, but I personally, I love it when it comes down to this. Like there's a plot, and I don't know. I don't know who I'm rooting for. I want everyone to win, but we got RJ here. I mean, he's holding the stitch, so he's already winning.
Yep. And then I might have picked up a little bit of conversation in the waiting room between RMB and RJ, and RMB was super disappointed that he wouldn't get to kind of just clown around in game 3 or match 3. So it falls on both of these players to bring it home for their teams today. Last round of round 1 in the ICL, right? And then oh my goodness, look at this player card. What a handsome gentleman right there. RMB, checking out those official stats. What do you think?
I mean, the biggest thing that stands out is that he's professionally bald. We've had amateur bald people in our league, but to have a professional is really something that sets us apart. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at top 16 North American Championship, top 8 DLC Atlanta, top 64 in DLC Fort Worth. So I mean, he's put up a lot of consistent stats and with different decks. And he's always kind of he's somebody that is willing to try new decks, which is always very exciting. And then he makes other people go, okay, well maybe Blurple's a thing. So yeah, we're going to see what he's playing. We kind of know, but I mean, it's a surprise for you guys. So you get to find that little surprise of what is R&B cooking. We already see he's got his Robin Hood sniper arrow fired. Luckily not at Maui. That's a good thing.
And before the players kick off, I just want to say congratulations on your reveal.
Thank you.
Job well done. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. Like it's, I mean, that's like the greatest thing. I mean, if I can't win, I can at least have a reveal. So that was very exciting. And now I want to play it in limited. That's my big goal. Is now I have my like little draft or sealed on release night, and I'm like, ooh, it better be in my pack. Oh wow, they already started.
Yes, R&B inked a Mim Snake on turn 1, but didn't play anything and
Wow.
passed it right back over to RJ, who also inked a Mim Snake, but he had something to land on the board there turn 1. So R&B did take the play, obviously, with Maelstrom taking the loss on the previous match. So let's see what he pulls off. There is the second color in the pairing. So R&B playing Amethyst Steel.
Yeah, and if we know anything about Amethyst Steel, it is that it does like to have a little aggressive start. So it probably didn't feel good to miss that turn 1. But we also know now that Calhoun's here, that kind of makes RJ think a little bit more about when he turns those cards sideways.
Yep. Free 2 lore never feels great, especially with that Diablo. We'll see what RJ opts to do here. Maybe he has another Mim Snake in hand.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and ink a second Diablo. And
Ooh.
Interesting. So that Flynn, they're going to have to do some work because we know now that, I mean, obviously he's hoping to play a Sisu next turn, but Calhoun alone has a 3/2, and he could easily play a Fox if that's his goal here. So we'll kind of see what R&B plays, knowing that he has to get something beefy out here. Not necessarily this turn.
Yep. Oh, second Mim Snake being inked for R&B, and the White Rose comes down, gaining him a lore. I don't think he'll be turning that Calhoun sideways, goes ahead and passes. We'll see if you were correct, and if he does play a Sisu. Upside to playing against the Amethyst deck is that they are typically going to continue to draw, so that Sisu will continue to have a relatively large power, right? There it is.
Yeah, and the good news is we know that Steel has removal. That's one of Steel's greatest thing. It's not as removal heavy as Ruby, but there are some tricks up their sleeves. So either we might see a Fox come down and get rid of, take back that Rose, or we could see something like a Strength would be, well.
Yep.
Well, you have to lay out some guys here. So.
Yeah, he has enough on the board to take out the Flynn if he so chose to.
That's true.
He also is playing a few additional actions that we don't want to mention just yet, but it could easily take care of that Flynn if he's got it in hand. So inks a Pete and plays out the go, gaining another lore. Passing it back, he's got 3 in hand, so it should check the Sisu.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not fun to get the trigger not to work because you have less cards, because obviously you want more cards, but at least he can say, well, I don't know, maybe there's enough card draw in this deck where maybe he can build back up once he has a plan to deal with the Sisu. And as we've seen, his board state has kept RJ from doing anything.
Now, I do think that at some point somebody's going to have to make a decision and start turning sideways. Kind of at a weird stalemate. R&B is passively gaining the lore between the White Rose and the Goat. We'll see who decides to make that first aggressive maneuver.
Yeah, the chicken.
And we'll see how wide these boards go. But typically with Ruby Amethyst, they do get to have some removal in hand, especially once we start approaching turn 6, turn 7. And that's the easiest way to break up the board parity, right? So
yeah, and I think we lost one screen. We'll probably get it back here in a moment. But we don't know for sure what kind of deck. I'm going to trust it.
There we go. There we go.
We don't know what flavor the Amethyst Seal he's running because, there can be a Tinkerbell side. We can dock. There's different titrations of this Amber Seal deck too. So I think over the next few turns, R&B's kind of probably also hoping to see. I mean, it's hard. RJ's deck is pretty predictably, but, it's just pain once you get past turn 5. It's a lot of suffering. So, but R&B has the element of surprise.
And R&B kind of also needs to continue having a healthy hand size, right? Because both of them are playing with this, but if they just continue to go wider and wider, it's going to come down to who has the card draw. Here, the R&B makes the first move.
And it's fair because, I mean, the Goat would be nice. He gets a lore and it's a pretty big body. And then the Rose isn't the most valuable card on his board. So he's starting to say, come on, let's do something here because he wants to feed his Calhoun. And he does look like he played 2 Smees.
And we can go a little bit more aggressive earlier on, right? Ruby Amethyst isn't going to ramp as quickly as Ruby Sapphire. So smashing down those 2 Smees, all those dual questers, it's putting a little bit more pressure on RJ. We see him tapping his rabbit to sing friends on the other side, drawing some more cards, giving him some additional options. And then we're going to see if he wants to choose to trade. Maybe he's got a crab and get some a good solid trade with the Diablo there.
Yeah, that is always funny when the crab makes Diablo have a moment of victory and be like,
Yeah.
I'm a big boy now, and explode in a card of glory. Instead, he does opt to take the Sisu into the White Rose and then snake that Sisu back to respectively heal it and play it again if he wants to. Next turn.
So he's leaving that rabbit open. Oh, before I could even finish my sentence.
I know, he said, I would never. And he puts down that snake.
RJ has inked a snake and played 2 snakes. RMB has inked 2 snakes. All the snakes are coming out to play tonight.
Yeah, and he says, while I'm here, I might as well put up a Chernobog, which always says to me that he's not worried about inking. If he's like, I might as well just put a Chernobog out here while I'm here.
Draw.
All right, so
there's the genie.
Which that gets that card draw. Sisu's not on the board currently, so that relieves a little bit of pressure for him as far as that Flynn trigger. Now Flynn is still sitting there doing nothing other than looking pretty. But
and they kind of the beginning of the set, you have to kind of remember that the evasive wars were kind of going on between the genies and the Elsas, and now a lot of Ruby Amethyst decks have kind of opted to cut their evasives out of the deck. So we'll see, obviously, provided they still have answers between Brawl, Tremaines, and Medusas if they're playing those. But does he have that answer in hand for this 2 Questor evasive?
Yeah, I mean, and it's interesting because RJ has been sitting and either we're going to see here, is he attacking, is he or challenging, or is he still kind of, he's been playing a lot of defensive and hasn't really been on the offensive. So, which is okay because we know Ruby, they can really swing momentum quickly.
There it is. Brawl getting played almost immediately before RJ starts opting to do trades or commit to these trades. The Smees will obviously trade back with anything that he swings into. But then that opens up, that Calhoun's just been standing there very pretty all game long, waiting for the opportunity to gain 2 lore. So let's see what RJ opts to do here.
Yeah, I do love at this point to do the Patrick. She's just standing there menacingly. All right, so he goes ahead and inks, and he's still thinking because it is kind of, he's still in that game of chicken where he can get rid of some stuff, but if he doesn't have a B prep or something like that to be insurance, then all right. So first one is a Chernobog to a Smee, leaving a goat and a Smee.
Snake into the second Smee, and now I don't think that RJ feels too bad. He still has a decent amount of cards in hand. He did turn this Diablo sideways.
Well,
I don't know if...
Is he about to snake it, or about to? Or
there we go.
Nope. Yeah, fox. If you don't have a snake, then you've got to have a fox.
And now he's putting it back onto RMB to check this the Flynn Rider once again. So hopefully, let's see what RMB is going to do here. Questing to 11.
Yeah, which makes you believe he's going on. Okay, so he's going to go ahead and fox and then replay and say Calhoun's still here and she's still mad about it. Or at least she got the quest once.
And we found the answer to check. So
that does, that as long as there's something that's for. Now, looking at these lists, it's interesting because, normally you're like, if he gets a Maui out there or something, but we'll see what RJ has, if there's any kind of undefeatable card. But now that his hand side is kind of small, that Sisu becomes a little less impressive.
Yep, and then that rabbit being played again, another card drop, popping the broom, gets to draw 2. And decisions. Do we ink here? There's that Diablo that he bounced earlier.
Yep. turn him into ink, and wow, he says, I really need some cards. I need something here.
I believe that is the fourth and final snake for RJ. But he has gotten significant value from all those bounces.
Yeah, he still has only quested once. So that's, but we, okay, so we see him play a broom, and is he going to do the same thing where he's playing a broom just for that value to draw a card? And he is, and he slaps down another Calhoun, a hungry Calhoun for sideways cards. And is he going to hold on to that card or play it?
I think at this point, R&B is probably good to hang off on inking. He wants to maintain some sort of hand size, continue to play out some threats. He can get across that finish line. And as soon as I said it, he inked and played the dock, but for good reason, right?
Yeah, that dock could be a nice little treat later in. It's always not something, or it's not something fun to have in your opening hand, but when you see him when you need him, you're like, oh, thank God you're here, doctor. Someone did point out that Flynn is doing the mannequin challenge, and yeah, I like to say that Flynn Rider, Prince John, they're like really cute items. They're not here to quest. They're here to be here and provide a little bit of support, but they're not doing much other than sitting there. And he's certainly not. He's sitting there and not generating value, but he's made R&B make choices though, and so I mean that's something to say. He's played differently, knowing the menacing Flynn.
And maybe that's enough, right? Sometimes taking your opponent off their optimal line of play is good enough. Let's see what he follows up with here.
Yeah, he got rid of one of the Calhouns and a fox, traded with a fox. And then he will go ahead and ink. And he says, you pick.
Yep.
And he goes with that dock. Wow. Okay. Wow. So from the makers of Flynn, it's Flynn 2.
RJ is absolutely determined to make sure these Flynns trigger at some point in this matchup. And now it's not going to be once, maybe it's going to be twice. So we'll see where we decide to go here for R&B. Is he going to turn this Calhoun sideways and continue to apply pressure? Bog coming down, followed up with a Smee.
And a dock. All right.
Love to see it.
And then, yeah, he's at the point where he's like, whatever, I guess. Because if anything, I mean, trying to say, get value out of that Calhoun and saying, do you want to challenge her? Is that something you want to do? And he's at that point too, where he could be prepped any second if RJ feels panicked about something. So he might as well get value where he can on those quests.
And still holding 2 cards from the dock in hand with maintaining board presence. So that's the power of dock there. Soon you can empty out that hand, continue to smash down some threats, and just try to get across that finish line, right?
Yeah, and R&B's in that place where, he starts going, okay, now I can start some bouncing goat magic. He doesn't have any goats on board, and he doesn't have a big hand size, so it's a little harder to get to that bouncing magic. But the closer he gets to that 20, the less stressed he is about anything RJ can do. But now, I feel like I'm cheating. God just spoke to me. I feel like I have to give credit, but well, it feels like God speaking to me anyway. So he does with that bounce. I obviously always think about bouncing something that generates lore, but dock generates the lore, or not, sorry, card. So keeping that dock on board or getting him off board is obviously something that RJ is eager to do, which he does, and also says do.
He also heard a voice from God speaking.
Yes, he said, or he's been hurt before.
That is very true.
So interesting there. The Tremaine got rid of the dock, or
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Tremaine got rid of the dock, or R&B opted to get rid of the dock there.
And finally, Flynn does something.
I apologize. I believe he.
Yeah, because
he
went to get rid of the turtle bug, and then so I thought that well, all right. Well, either way, we're at the point now where he just has a little Smee, who is nice, but certainly not the most powerful card. And finally, those Flynns just quested for 2. They said, we're here. We might as well. I'm not afraid. Oh, a brawl got rid of the dock is what Talman Purple said.
Okay.
So I missed that there.
I saw the brawl, but I wasn't sure if it ended up getting inked or...
Yeah.
but it makes sense because he's got 9 ink and he was able to play both in the same turn.
Yeah.
So Genie coming down, providing a little bit more card draw. We're going to continue to ink for R&B, bouncing the Smee back to hand and playing another Mim Fox.
Yeah.
R&B is continue to pressure, keeping his things turned sideways, and then obviously getting the benefit of being able to bounce and restand. Now 2 brawls have been played on RJ's side. Does he have an answer for this Genie, or is it going to push him all the way to 19 on the following turn?
Yeah, I mean, well, he does a rabbit, so that's not so good for a board wipe because we know that's going to eat up 4 of his ink there, but maybe we know he's not at Lorthal yet. So, but Lorthal and the goat is the next scariest thing.
And we have seen 1 goat played on R&B side, and we'll see here what he opts to do. There was the potential for the emergency button to get hit, but RJ did not press it with the B prep. Instead, he's going to play out a library.
It's a real estate country out here. Everybody said it's free real estate, and you just slam down libraries or mansions at the end or manors at the end of any game, and just say, "Is this something?" And it works sometimes, as we've seen at local challenges.
Now, could he be trying to set it up where he's going to start putting things into the library, and then potentially next turn hit the emergency button so he gets additional card draw, or was this the best play that he had? But is the library a little too late?
It's never too late for the library. So now R&B is saying, please have a goat, please have a goat. So it all depends how fast he turns these cards sideways, which he doesn't look like he's got to slam down the white rose or the goat, which makes me believe he's going, okay, what's the smartest thing to do here? And
next turn, RJ can quest for 8, I believe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, as long as he keeps enough in board, which I mean, that Fox is keeping that Flynn trait. Or sorry, 8 plus the library. I'm so sorry, my brain.
So it does put a little bit of pressure on R&B here.
It does.
3 cards in hand, and as you mentioned, if it was any of those passive lore gainers, I think he would have played those by now.
Absolutely slap it.
So,
otherwise, this would be the slowest of burns. Being like,
So maybe he's thinking about questing with the Genie and trading into something with the Fox.
Yeah, leaving 1 out is hard because if you leave 1 out, that Tremaine suddenly can bounce and become just a free token to get rid of his last remaining card. But like we've said, I mean, he's at 16, so he just has to get pretty lucky with his next draw. And it doesn't sound like he has any card draw, easy access to card draw right now either. So he's doing math, which is not fun. Not a fan of that.
I just came here to play cards.
Yeah, please. That's how you know that, like, after the digital client temporary or went away, I was like, oh no, I have to do all the
I'm like, playing in paper for the first time.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not made to do this. I let the internet tell me how this works. All right, so he's gonna go ahead and quest and say, all right, I just got to get to 19, and what's he gonna slap down? He's gonna protect something. He says real estate time. I'm a bit of an agent myself. And he's gonna do the same thing where he says, if you strike me down, I shall become 2 cards. Will he do anything else? He looks like he's doing the hand motion that makes you believe he has 2 cards at least.
1 more for a
why
dog
not?
And slap her on in there.
Which makes, it's kind of that thing where you don't want to go too wide in case there's a B prep, but if there's a B prep, then he gets 3 cards. So it's kind of, it's not the worst thing in the world if that were to happen right now. But not the great either.
Great answer from R&B to say, hey, I see you purchased a new piece of property. I myself am now a homeowner as well. And immediately being able to put those characters into the library is going to generate that value for him. So
now this is a point that while RJ is thinking is a very critical turn, it's also critical to say that if a man ever gives you access to a room in his house and says that's a gift, not a gift, that is just letting you into a room that he already had. So I think Belle, I know she was really happy, and I think that card is called a gift for Belle. It's just important to note that that's not a very good gift if you're being held hostage. But that is just a little side while RJ's thinking here.
In books, right? Is that
Yeah.
what she really wanted at that moment in time?
Yeah, she's like possibly freedom, you know,
Yeah.
but he's like, you can read, and it's like, oh, thank you.
A phone call to the authorities, my dad.
So Tremaine says, Tremaine, Flynn, and another Tremaine work together and say, no books, okay? You're not getting your free cards. But is that enough?
Prep gonna come down here?
It's tough because he's moving. I mean, well, he played a rabbit and then moved it to the library, so
Yeah.
it's possible. Yeah, everybody's going in the library, which makes me believe he's about to. Which.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, R&B was prepared. He said, "I am very prepared for what you're about to do."
R&B has one card remaining in hand.
Yeah,
has to be something good here. I mean,
but
there's always the possibility of drawing right off the top, right? So I don't think he's feeling too bad just yet, but RJ just drew a whole grip of cards.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't count, but I think that's at least 5 cards he drew.
Is that a Pascal I just saw get inked?
Yes, and that's something I wanted to say. I love a little cheeky Pascal because a Pascal, he's just questing, he's evasive, and he could become a 4/4 if you have a crab. He is a beautiful little card.
Oh, fire the cannons.
He says, no, I don't like Pascal one bit. So he's leaving that Pascal out. But regardless, there's nothing over there. And, you know, RJ is gating one more off the library, but the B prep did kind of put him back where he's just hoping every turn that R&B does not top deck a white rose or a goat, which we know.
While having to answer any of these cards any other cards that he plays for the turn. Unfortunately, only having one character on board kind of exposes himself to another Tremaine if that comes down. But there it is. He's showing his hand and
he ran out of removal
to the next. Yep.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, the power of going.
I think that might be a brawl on the very back there too.
Yeah. So yes, he showed that he might not be a rare or above, but he puts in a lot of work. A Smee can do a lot of work in these matches.
Good deckhand to have around.
He is, yeah. He likes it when he has a captain, but he doesn't need one. Absolutely. He can work solo.
So as the players start shuffling up, getting ready for the second game, RJ will obviously be on the play here. What do you think of these new enchanteds this set? I have been blown away and super stoked. Like, I was not thinking of going too crazy on purchasing a product this set. Maybe a case, don't want to splurge too much, but these reveals have left me super excited. Do you have any top contenders for what you would like to open?
Well, there's this one card, Restoring Atlantis. I'd like to pull this card, this very businessman. He's ready to go to work, and but no, as far RB's mat, ironically, is making me think of the Enchanteds because the Enchanteds is very evocative of the Silver Age of animation. So we're thinking Mary Blair, we're thinking Ivan Earl. So I'm loving the Enchanteds. I'm a little rabbit. I'm foaming at the mouth to pull Enchanteds this set. Like normally I'm like, I like it Enchanted because they're worth money, et cetera, et cetera. Now I'm like, I need them. I physically will die if I don't.
For me personally, exactly.
Yes, I need this for me, and they're not for anyone. They're not for trade.
I think the Tomato is going to be highly sought after, not just because it's a playable card, but that art is beautiful. The Aurora, I showed my wife, I was like, I don't even play Amber really, and I want this card just to have it. And then today, right, there were so many reveals within the last.
We have one more, right? We have one
more, I believe.
Probably Emerald Enchanted. But they're going to go ahead and alter here. But yeah, I wish the Aurora was called Aurora Just Woke Up Like This, but unfortunately it is not, but it is still perfect. It is a perfect card. Very excited for that in Steel Song, and maybe Lemon Lime can actually get some legs and make a stronger comeback.
Already shuffling up still.
Now,
I do hope. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say this Robin Hood mat is making me think we saw this really cool Robin Hood deck piloted by Josh of just forgot the name of his team, but it was
on
so
Wednesday,
good.
right?
Yeah, on Wednesday. It was a Robin Hood, like just like pew, pew, pew. So this making me think of that. So, but Robin Hood regrettably did not get. I think he got one card this set, but he's good. He has
Baymax got so much love this set. It was crazy. And then the promos as well. It's been the hero, villain, hero. So we're back to
literally a hero.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Again, the art has been phenomenal for the Enchanteds, and then everybody gets a participation card now. They got to reveal that. Super interested. I think set champs, it'll breathe a little bit more life into set champs.
Yeah, because sometimes people say, "Why would I show up if I don't?" You're gonna get something.
Yeah.
Okay, you get a card, so come play.
As long as you're within, the first 40 to show up.
It can happen on, as they say, any Bivin Sunday is a saying, I think. So let's see here. So Josh from Severistan. See, the reason I forget it is because all of y'all keep picking team names I can't spell. And so I'm like, sure. So anyway, so yeah, Cerberus then. All right, so RJ's cooking. He's playing a card. That's what you want to do on turn 1, unfortunately.
Yep.
If you don't get out a card, it's not the end of the world, but it is. RB did not get to, but he still won. So obviously we learned it's not 100% necessary, but quite nice.
So RB did get a turn 1 play this time around. Very well done. We'll see if RJ tries to play out that Flynn and try to see if it actually gains some lore this time around.
He has a good chance of it. I mean, look at R&B's list. There's not like a ton of beefy dudes in there. So, I mean, if he could get it to work. Oh, here he is. He's like, your favorite item, a man. And he's back. So we're going to hope that Flynn does some work this. I mean, I don't think R&B's hoping that Flynn does work.
R&B said, I'm not even going to ink. This broom is smashing into your Turnabog. No questions asked.
Which makes me think, what is his 2-drop? I guess Calhoun is coming?
Smee or a Calhoun. Any of those would check it.
Or he's just...
Double 1-drop, depending on what it is.
I love a good double 1-drop turn 2. Because, if going wide isn't the worst thing that's ever happened.
R&B is doing early math turn 2.
Yeah, it's not good when you're already like, okay, what are we at? Oh, well, and we can see why. Inking a goat never feels great because that goat is so powerful later in the game. But sometimes you got to do it to him. And by I mean the goat.
Passing it back. Do we see a Sisu coming down on turn 3 here? Or is he going to opt for something else? I think if he had the Sisu, I think it would have come down already.
Now, a fun thing they could have done with that Flynn is printed several versions and not told anyone, and every single one, his nose is a little bit different. They didn't do that, but Ravensburger, if you're listening, if there is a reprint, there could be, you just can't get my nose right, and every single one is different, but we'll see. Apparently, there's classical music playing over us, so I hope it makes us seem more refined.
Chat, oh, yes, absolutely.
You have a mustache, which is helping. I do not currently, but either way. Up, and there's a Sisu. We are scholars and gentlemen.
I mean, referencing your review video was above and beyond.
That was very scholarly.
Yeah, that was very scholarly.
I need you to know I sat in my living room and I did that approximately 20 times. So I was like, no cuts. And that was really stressful.
I believe it, but you got it done. And that's what matters.
So the symphony of try to figure out what to do about this Flynn. I think, unfortunately, he's like, whatever. I have to let you get 2.
Yep. 3.
Whatever. 3, which feels really bad. But Calhoun's like, I'm going to eat you if you go sideways. So RJ can get that 3, but is he confident enough to let that be enough and do nothing other than just play cards and keep them upright?
We'll see what he opts to do here going into turn 4. R&B does have 4 cards in hand. Is he going to start cranking out some draw here, or there it is? Yep.
Yeah, this is a very perfect curve for RJ. It is the classical. I'm sure the music is really helping me. And then you get some card draw. It's exactly what he wants to do in this. There's been no removal on the other side. He's getting to do everything he wants and hoping that there are no fire the cannons coming towards his beautiful Flynn.
And we didn't see any of these other actions aside from the one fire the cannons very late into the first match. So where are they hiding? R&B
usually the bottom.
R&B is probably like, I could really use a friend right now. Inking the library, doesn't want to read any books tonight. Plays a Smee, plays a broom, emptying out that hand a little bit more.
So that does shut down the Flynn trigger. Yeah. Well, right. Oh, okay. Do they have 2 cards?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, 2.
So he shut down Flynn and he's like, okay, do some questing, please. So I can do some stuff on my side. But
as you mentioned earlier, is this is R&B kind of being pushed to do this? Is that the optimal line of play? Is the Flynn being on the board, just his presence alone, throwing R&B off?
Yeah, Calhoun and Flynn are both kind of playing the psyop game here. They're like, I am here purely to make you go, are you sure? And they're doing a pretty good job.
I really think what it is Flynn's luscious locks are kind of aggravating R&B and making him make these unoptimal lines, perhaps. Library coming down and immediately putting the rabbit and Sisu into the library and turning them sideways. I will draw extra cards if you choose to trade, he says.
Yeah, which, I mean, there's a hungry Calhoun over there. So this is a time where he could do a pretty substantial work on his board. If he had like a fire cannon and, you know, some other turn those other guys sideways to challenge RJ's cards, he could do some work, but we'll see what he has.
Or maybe he opts to clear the library first.
I always forget that's an option. I'm just like, you got to challenge. No, burn the library. That's the lesson.
Yep. A crab would come in handy right now, and then he could still get some pretty nice trades with the Calhoun. See what's going on here. We got 7 on the left there.
Yeah, and library is a 8. So one. How much does he not like the?
Yeah, a fox would be super nice. A crab would do wonders. But that Flynn is just staring menacingly.
I know, Flynn, which his real name. Do you know what his real name is?
I do not. Please.
Eugene Fitzherbert.
I definitely would have never guessed.
Yeah, in the movie, she goes, Eugene! And he's like, my real name isn't even Flynn. It's just whatever. Tangled, good movie. Everybody, after the ICL, watch Tangled. Available on Disney+. Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. So bouncing the broom and then clearing the library with the Mim and
so he
the
did have
Rose.
that fox.
And then he did trade the Calhoun into the rabbit, saying, you will not bounce this 4 times like you did last game.
Oh, is that a PE just inked?
Yes, it is.
Which I mean, I guess, you know, it's not.
Are we setting up for a dock, perhaps?
Yeah, and I guess emptying his hand, and if he hasn't, I always think if somebody inks something that I think is optimal, I'm like, that's because he has another, which we don't know that, but that is just always my thought process here.
So maybe making it a little bit weirder of a trade with the Sisu now.
Yeah, I mean, he did a ton of work there. I mean, we were like, you could do this, and he's like, yeah, I'll do most of it. So the only thing that was left standing is just that Sisu going, oh man, I lost all my friends and my library.
Help!
Yeah,
help me, Tom Cruise.
I called for help 3 times. All right, so now Flynn is becoming more and more useless as time goes on. So is Flynn better as a battering ram than he is as an item? We shall see.
Yep.
So he's goes face first into Smee, and then Sisu goes for the Calhoun. Yeah, which makes sense. That Calhoun is too good. And what is he going to slam down in response? You know, put that Sisu back here. Protector.
See now, maybe he's going to ink that Sisu, and does he have another rabbit? A goat, perhaps? Oh, no.
Pascal.
These poor Pascals. Yeah, they haven't.
Well, and that's the value of them, is like, you're like, I don't feel so bad inking you, because they're not super valuable on their own. They're only valuable on, like, you know, it's kind of like
some friends.
It's a weird that it's a tech card, because like, wow, high tech, but he is only good if it's at the very beginning of the game or if you're doing something funky. But otherwise, he's just really cute ink.
And to note, R&B has not seen any genies this go around, and I'm sure he would love one right now. RJ's got 4 ink to play with. Did he just? Oh, a pass.
Yeah, so RJ looks like he has 1 card or 2 cards. The black sleeves.
3, I
come
believe.
to the light. 3. Okay. So,
3. So is he telegraphing? He just went inked up to 6, passed. Is this a telegraph that he has prep in hand for next?
Yeah, and he doesn't want to lose value. Like, they're not something that would get value by being banished.
So questing with the rose, questing with the broom, play another fox, bouncing the rose, and popping the broom for that card draw feels pretty good. And R&B's probably thinking the same thing here.
Yeah,
What do we want to do?
Yeah, and he's playing that thing too, where he's like, okay, is he playing a mind game? Does he have nothing he could have done in that turn? And he's just, so he says, I might as well put down a rose here, get a lore.
I think he accidentally flashed the genie there. I think that's the second goat he inked, right? So that's got to feel a little bad, but now
he's betting on himself.
Yep. Might be trying to force that prep to come out, but he does have the genie with the card draw in hand, prepped and ready to go.
Yeah.
And the tides have somewhat turned here, right? Like RJ had on the play, was gaining, got a trigger off the Flynn, went up to 7, and now R&B.
That's not be prepared. Notably not be prepared. And then he will go ahead and trade with that fox, put down a Sisu. Now, is he going to use a trigger to draw? Or no, he didn't banish the broom because it's still there, obviously. No. So he says, I just need bodies, please. And
that Sisu is a little weak now with R&B having only 2 cards in hand, obviously. Probably going to play that genie this turn, draw an additional, see what we get here. Or could this be mind games from RJ's? Like, I just don't have that prep. Please play your board as much as. Ooh.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he put out 1 Diablo, which is just enough to make that strength 4 and take out that little Sisu, which always can simultaneously become a big Sisu. So you might as well, if you see her, get out. And in this case, it's just a little broom sitting by himself.
Yeah. Diablo never feels bad playing late game. Obviously, top decking, not the best, but smash him down. Maybe you get the quest. Either way, you get the draw. Feels pretty good.
Oh, okay. So RJ did say, here, fine, whatever. You don't get, but he does get to draw 1 card off of that Diablo. So it looks like, did he draw for the Diablo already? I think so. Okay, so he is just going to slap down a rose. Why not? And get a lore.
Pass.
Okay, so no one's having a great time right now.
Down to the top decks. Not a whole lot of card draw going off this time. Goat coming down, gaining RG a lore. It's pretty neck and neck right now with the lore count. 1 card in hand for each player, going to 2 for R&B. What do we have here?
Yeah, I mean, okay, he's gonna, why? I'll challenge. Or sorry, quest here for 1, and then he's got anything for card draw. No, but he can at least snake lore. It's old fashioned, but it works.
The passive lore gain.
Yeah, you're like, listen, it's not much, but it's a living.
And kind of like, another prep.
Which kind of shows a little bit of vulnerability.
Where we're at, where we're at. Because I think he's still holding 1 in hand for RJ. That is a fantastic follow-up after a prep comes down. So we bought some more real estate this turn, and we had the follow-up of the Turnibogs. R&B is in a great position.
Oh. Which, I mean, it's a brawl, but yeah, he gets 1 card. Because everybody knows if you're banished in a library, you turn into a card. So he will. Oh
wow!
He's doing the Ed special. He's giving him the old Ed 1-2. That's what they call it.
Another library comes down. Doc immediately follows up, slams the Doc into the library, telling him to go read some books. And how does RJ
over here
overcome needing to deal
not that, unfortunately.
Needing to deal 16 points worth of damage to these libraries. These books are hefty, and they're getting in the way of RJ bringing home a victory here.
Yeah, because I mean, they're hefty. Yeah, they're 8 lore. So he puts down a Diablo and a broom. He's probably going to send them both to the library. Well, can he send them? He can send. Yeah. So he's like, why not? Everybody get in. Or no, he's actually going to snake back something.
What a sequence.
He's really sequencing this in a way that hurts very badly if you are RJ right now.
Yep.
Oh, he He doesn't even need to send anyone to the library. He's like, I feel very good.
That is, even if another prep comes down,
Yeah.
what do you do here?
This is knowledge is power, as we've learned. And so it's just having a location sit there and just be like, what? That's also power.
And unfortunately, he's just kind of ripping him off the top here. And
He says, I have a library. Is that? So that is the end of round 3. So he did a masterful job showing that sequencing and libraries.
As soon as I saw you ink and play Purple Seal, I was like,
it
I'm on no Maui,
so we're gonna go
no Elsa, and no Medusa.
and talk a little bit about their snazzy decks.
I was like,
Let's do it.
fucked.
No.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it, I was like, sorry.
All right.
I was in trouble.
So that was a lot of reading. There was a lot of books there. So RJ, I'll start with you. You had you had libraries too. How are you feeling against that deck? I don't want putting words in your mouth. So how are you feeling against R&B's deck?
Oh no, that's a matchup I did not want to see with my list. So there's no Elsas and no Mauis, right? So like dealing with locations and being able to tap down some of his like smaller questers, and dealing with the whiteboard is really tough without Elsas and Mauis a lot of times. Yeah, it's definitely not a list that I like to go up against, or a deck I like to go up against with red purple without Mauis and Elsas.
Yeah, that's
and genies. So
yeah, we try not to dox your card list while it's live, but I mean, yeah, looking at your list, I'm like, oh man, you don't got any big boys. So that was one thing that's hard, is both of you really didn't have big hitters without Crab with it. So that was the kind of the Flynn issue, is you had Flynn's but not a lot of beefy boys with him, and then R&B was able to get a lot of value by bouncing just everywhere.
the list was definitely more catered towards red, blue, and amber steel. I unfortunately haven't been able to play much these past 2 months. Super busy at the shop. So
Yeah.
I just kind of took the list I had planned on playing in set champs and was like, give it a go. And then when I saw purple steel, I'm like, this is going to be rough. No
Yeah, you went, oh,
Medusas, no
okay.
Mauis, no Elsas.
Yeah, you did have one Maui, notably on your board, your playmat. So that was a nice little kind of psych out to be like, it's Maui? Is it Maui? And you're like, no, I just have the playmat.
Yeah. No, definitely not a deck I want to see without having Mauis, Elsas, or Medusas.
Yeah, now
how many Tremaines were you on?
Three Tremaine.
3.
It was
okay.
15 1-drops with 4 crabs. So it was like putting up the Fox lines and the crab lines versus Amber Steel. The deck does very well in Amber Steel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
it's a little.
I noticed you put Pascal in. I had theories of why you like Pascal. I think he's a fun little tech card, but what was the reason that you think Pascal is good in this kind of deck, and not necessarily in this matchup, but can be fun in this deck?
So the meta got a lot faster in general format, I feel like, right? So like red purple's always been really good at trying to keep tempo and just value trading. So I enjoyed having another way to deal with. There's been like a slight uptick in Blurple, especially locally. So having another way to, which is grabbing the Pascal since I'm on 4 and taking out Genie was just another thought process of being Genie. Unfortunately, it didn't quite come to fruition, especially in this matchup. But
now, I mean, I think you still did a stellar job. Unfortunately, you were against the storm. You were in the eye of the storm, so to speak, with R&B. Now, R&B, I will skip a little behind the scenes. You said, I want to be funny or I want to be good. So it looks like you picked good, right? You didn't go with funny?
Yeah, so the choices today, RJ, like were I just play blue steel, or I play this deck, which was the deck that I actually should have brought to the SSG 10K. I ended up bringing the rabbit version of this list that like went up to Elsa, and what I noticed from that list is like you've got I played 4 rabbits, 4 goats, 2 genies, and 3 Zeuses. My hand just got clogged with 4 drops, and like I would hit turn 4, and for like the next 3 turns I was only playing 1 thing a turn, and it wasn't enough to actually apply enough pressure against the majority of the decks in the format. And I was like, man, I really should have just like played the dock version. So the version that I played today did not have rabbits in it. It did not have Zeus's in it. I traded those out for dock instead and 2 fire the cannons.
I mean, those docks did a ton of work.
Yeah.
I was really hoping steel.
Yeah, but I mean, well, so that's the thing. The blue steel list that I cooked up was on 3 Argus because I figured you would just play red purple.
And the Argus is fine. There's 15 one-drops. Like, worst case scenario, I just go dump. If you're playing an Amethyst steel deck, that also goes. So it's just tough to do.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Sploosh Magoo, what kind of questions do you have about these 2 decks?
R&B, crazy sequencing on that game too. That turnaround, obviously RJ had priority, was questing, got to 7, was able to trigger the Flynn, and then you had a turn where you were able to not only trade into the rabbit, you were able to use the Mim to bounce. At that point going forward, how did you feel into that matchup? Were you pretty confident that you kind of had locked them out? Or were you still kind of, I know it was a little bit top decking there up until you saw the dock, but at what point in that match did you feel like you kind of just, hey, I'm good now?
It really wasn't until like 2 turns before I won that I still even felt like, yeah, that was a really good turn, and like I had to make a couple of decisions. And so like the decisions that I made in the North American Continental Championship against Ed helped guide me in my decisions here. Like I could have, traded his board. No, just answer the library. If you ever have an opportunity to answer library before library generates a ton of value in the Amethyst like mirror matches, do it. Take the library off the board. It's the Amethyst mirror purple breaker. Like if a library just gets to gain you, 3 or 4 lore, gets to draw you an additional, 4 or 5 cards, you've already lost the game. So like I knew, number one, I was going like fairly low resource in hand. So even if he ends up taking some value trades with the Sisu, like he's not refilling his hand. And that's the more important thing because I have docks, I have my own libraries, and when you're going second in this matchup, you can use library as like the last card that I had in my hand for like infinite amount of time was just a library. Like, and I was looking for the right opportunity to deploy it where he wasn't just gonna answer it himself, and I could get like play the library, move a couple of things to it, trade some of your guys, draw a bunch of cards to refill, and like now you don't have a board to answer back at my library. And then I can redeploy to the board the next turn and then move everything in.
And following a prep seems pretty good to play any of those nice pieces of property that you have in your deck. RJ, were you concerned? Obviously, you played the prep. I think at that point you kind of were locked into that decision and you had to do it. But were you worried that he had any libraries in hand? What were your thoughts at that point?
100%. Like the cards in my hand were Brawl and Be Prepared. So I really didn't have much of it. It was pretty much just play Be Prepared and hope he does not have a library at that point. I didn't really have any other outs. And I had no way to keep up on points. So it was just kind of like try and starve him if I can and hope he doesn't play a library. Fortunately, he had one in hand and then library dots.
Yeah, and then you were able, obviously, to answer the Chernobog. Unfortunately, it had already been placed into library, and then he kind of just drew this crazy sequence of a second library and dock. Still well played from the both of you. Congratulations, and hopefully you guys run into each other again later on in the ICL rounds, and maybe we can get a little bit of that revenge match going.
We're always playing in Discord, so this is definitely isn't the first time we
play
played
all the time. We do cam games in like multiple servers. Like RJ and I play games against each other all the time.
Yeah, we're always playing. So him coming in on purple steel actually doesn't surprise me. I'm sure he assumed I was going to be on red. It was a very good call.
And then R&B, last little statement for you. I caught a piece of y'all's conversation before while you guys were in the waiting room. You're like, man, I wish I was expecting my teammates. I had full confidence in them to go 2-0 so I could just kind of, joke around and have fun at the end here. But how do you feel now? You brought it home for the team. That's
the thing. Like I wanted to joke around and I got vetoed.
No, you had to work.
What I was so you want to know what I was gonna play today?
Maybe. How much time you got? Because I mean, was it
I was
lemon
gonna play
lime?
Jafar Wheel.
Oh,
Oh man, that
I was
would have
gonna
been
play.
nice.
I have a sweet Jafar Wheel list that I wanted to give our buddy from Wednesday a little bit of a redemption arc.
yeah,
On the showing of Jafar Wheel, and I wanted to play Jafar Wheel today.
yeah.
Did
But
you get
Jafar,
downvoted by your team?
I got downvoted by a lot of people.
well, yeah, because I
Boo.
mean, unfortunately, this is your first showing in your new digs of the Maelstrom. So, you know, you showed up and showed out. And I think Jafar Wheel, he's only going to get stronger. He's got his own set coming. So his future's coming. It's just not today.
Yeah.
But
I love
congratulations.
RJ's fam. We all
Yeah.
fam into Clurb.
In the
Clurb.
library. In the library,
Ooh.
we're all fam.
Yep,
Not
yep.
in the library. We're enemies in there.
There'll be plenty of more matches. So.
Oh, yeah.
For either of you, any shout outs, socials you guys want to post?
Go ahead, R&B.
Beauty before bald.
Oh, all right, RJ.
I'd like to shout out the portal, obviously the shop, and then my teammates, Coffee, Zach, Bailey. Like, we don't get to travel a lot. We haven't played in as many as a lot of other people. Definitely some strong players. We're very excited for the next set too. And then shout out to my 9-year-old Minnie and my girlfriend for putting up with my traveling, and I do get to get out. And shout out to R&B. It's a blast playing with them and the new Maelstrom guys. Good luck on the new journey.
Thank you.
All right, R&B, what about you? Where can people find,
Uh,
follow, and tag along?
Everywhere. Like you guys know who I am by this point. If you guys don't know me, just shout out bald and like I'll appear. It's kind of like I'm kind of like Superman, but for the word bald. But I do have a few shout outs. Number one, I want to shout out my team, Maelstrom. Absolutely amazing group of guys. I wouldn't be here without them. I wanna shout out Sarah Galagos. Absolutely inspirational individual that's making sure that we're a massive success. A couple other big shout outs. I want to shout out 20 Lore. 20 Lore is going to be hosting the Hunter Burton Memorial event on March 15th in, I believe it's Dallas, Texas. Really great cause. If you guys are already in the area, make it a point to go there. If you guys can, swing the travel, it's going to be an awesome event. You can actually go and see one of my teammates, Aaron Rubin, defend his title as he won last year's. Also want to shout out CCS. CCS is going to be hosting it's either an 8K or a 10K. 8K on March 22nd as well in Atlanta, Georgia. So we've got like a couple of really, really big events. I know, we're kind of waiting on Ravensburger, giving us a little bit of information for Worlds and for season 2. But I see a lot of awesome, shops across the country. Like shout out SSG. That are hosting these like larger scale events that are bringing in very notable players and allowing us the opportunity to play highly competitive games of the game that we absolutely love. So shout out to those LGSs and those communities. Go to your stores, support them. Let's play.
Let's go, as they say. So yeah, wonderful. Congratulations to Team Maelstrom. 2-1. So you guys, the portal put a point on the board, so you're not going home empty-handed.
And every point counts.
Every point counts. Every point counts. But I do have a little bit of an update. So you guys are like, well, so what happens now? Well, that's the end of round 1. So we have some updates. So round 2, we're going to take a little bit of a break. It is not. We're just round 2 starting March 10th. So we're going to move. The big good news is that we're going to move to 3 matches a week. Oh, can you hear me okay now? Okay, so we're going to move to 3 matches a week. So that's very exciting. So now you can catch us on Mondays, on Wednesdays, and Fridays, which is very exciting. So the seasons will move a little bit faster now. We're also going to try to speed up, which lets you have the meta. You can adapt to it. You don't have to play and then wait to see how the meta is shaping up. Second, we want to embrace the new set. Arcasia's Island is dropping in hobby stores on March 7th. So you might notice the 10th is after the 7th. So we want to see how it shapes, and you'll get to see it shape up here in the ICL starting on March 10th. So we're going to be working behind the scenes. We want to, improve the league as much as we can. So definitely if there's anything you loved, anything you want to see next season, let us know. But yeah, we're going to come back on March 10th. So we're going to say goodbye though. So I'll go start with you. Oh, Oh, and I also actually no, you don't get to talk. I'm taking back your right because we're also going to thank our judges. I can do that. I can take away people's right to talk. And so we'd like to thank Ellie, John, Phil. Our judges are really great. Like it's like the Rolls Royce of judges. And I'm not just saying that because I'm like they're great judges. And so we love them. They are the best of the best. So I'm kind of excited that we have like the benchmarks of judges here in the ICL. Now you can say where people can find and follow you. It's been an honor casting with you. So you now get
To
to
you as well, gentleman and a scholar, or lady and a scholar. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for all the judges again. Wonderland for putting this awesome passion project, showing up week after week. The judges showing up week after week. The caster showing up week after week. So super excited to be here. You can find me on Twitter at SplooshMagoo, and I will be at SSG for their 10 case tournament. So come on down to Florida. Plenty of great players showing up for that event, and I'm super excited for Set 7 right back here on the 10th of March. ICL is going to be kicking off round 2, just heater after heater, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is your place to go for all the new set meta. Super stoked about it, and I'm excited to play. I'm ready. I don't even know who we're playing next, but it's going to be another sweep. So you guys watch out, whoever you are.
Yeah, right. Whoever you are, I'm coming for you. I like that generic threat to everyone. Be prepared of threats. So yeah, that's it. We did it. So you can find me. You guys know where to find me. I'll be here whether you guys want me or not. So thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting us for round 1, and we will see you on March 10th, right where you are. Goodbye.
So long.